Either you be inclusive or you be excluded. And I'm going to continue to fight until you are out of that seat. Yes.
Thanks, Matt. This is. All right. This side. Oh, there you go. So, this is for Governor Pritzker and all the state officials, but ultimately, the buck stops at the top, right? That's what everybody tells us. So we have contacted the Attorney General. We've contacted the Cook County State's Attorney. We've contacted probably just about every authority you can think of in Illinois and Cook County, and no one can do anything to help us. Isn't this crazy? Wow, all these people. Now, when it comes to election time, isn't it amazing all the things they can do and how often they. But you work for us, Governor Pritzker, and you work for us, Illinois and county authorities, and we need your help. We have unsolved murders in Harvey. I'm a resident of Harvey. My family has been in the Harvey area for over 100 years. We have a history of corruption, but it's never been this bad. We have unsolved murders. We have fires that erupt mysteriously, and the fire department and the police department don't do anything to stop them. They don't tell us how they're starting. So we have people losing their homes. We have a mayor with the MWRD, which is right just a few blocks south of here on Erie, with Carrie Steele. I'm going to name her too because she might be black, but she's one of the biggest traitors to the black community. Her father was, I believe, an alderman and a judge. And I don't care if she looks like a pretty black princess. She's got her degree and everything else. She is not royalty. But she was sipping her little drink last time I came to MWD and said, "Why are you taking our widows home?" We had people who were 89 years old. They were the first black families on the block in Harvey. You couldn't buy a house in that area in Harvey if you were black. You were not welcome, okay? So they were proud to have the American dream and say, we can live on a nice block. And this is allowed legally, and we get along with our neighbors. We have a diverse community. And then these black leaders, by the way, they are black for the most part, they're coming along, and they're taking everything from our black communities. It's not just black, but I'm just saying, Governor Pritzker, you have to step in, because these black leaders, for sure, they don't care. They just want the money and the power. So are you going to back that? Do you agree with that? Or are you going to take a stand for what's right?
That's white leaders too.
Right, exactly.
Bring your big ass up out of there.
Stop hiding behind your billionaire money. Stop hiding in your houses. You cannot stop working with these people. And I'll call Chris Welch out too, Speaker of the House. He was the biggest donor to Mayor Clark's reelection campaign in 2023. Hey, Chris Welch, because we know y'all love to come up here, all these fancy parties, these fancy condos. You are all betraying our communities. It's horrible. And these widows that live 2 blocks from me, they're not even going to have a place to live. The one, she lives with her son because she couldn't afford her own house, and she's at the end of her life. I mean, this is horrible. We have unsolved murders. This is not just a story of Harvey. This is a story of everybody in Illinois, in Cook County. Yeah, woo! You're not listening. You need to listen and act. You work for us. We don't work for you. We can't afford to pay our taxes. We have people that they're going to lose their house because they can't afford to pay our taxes. What do you do with our tax money, Pritzker? So, I mean, I don't know if I missed anything, but this is not just a Southland problem. Y'all are stealing money and you're not doing your job. Yes.
All right. I say something.
Tell them, girl.
We are not taking it anymore.
All right.
Tiffany,
Speak louder,
step
Mike.
the fuck down.
Speak louder, baby. Speak louder.
Christopher Clark.
Chris, step y'all ass down. Y'all ain't doing nothing for us. Step down. We tired of paying these half water bills.
Yep.
We tired of paying these half taxes. Step y'all ass down. Y'all ain't serving us no justice. No justice, no peace.
Right.
So one last time, y'all, please help me out. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Tiffany. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Chris. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Tiffany. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Governor, act now. Governor, act now. Governor, act now. State's attorney, act now. State's attorney. State's attorney. Attorney General. Attorney General. Attorney General. If we don't get it, 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 thank you.
Proud of y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Fat ass probably.
Woo, I'll see y'all in the summertime. Woo. Shit. Ooh, golly, that is not no normal code.
My niece say, you ain't.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people. A lot of them got out, but I, those y'all that was in the car. You was here. You was here. Say beep beep.
Beep.
Period. Period.
I told you from the very beginning.
That was
you
good.
gonna come from Texas and fight for me, and I was not going.
And you did that.
And I'm appalled at the people who are letting you fight by yourself.
We out here today. We out here today, though. I'm happy. At least I don't feel crazy now.
Jed.
Yeah.
Jed ass ain't. That was a compliment. I was talking about Beth and Babe.
Is it being Jedi Angel?
When you said they were coming at you.
But that's been out there before. Somebody else took it.
I was just talking. I never heard. I was just talking about.
It was out there before. They called the group Jed's Angels a while back, and we ignored it.
Derogatory.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and to those who might have said in the comments, it's my understanding that that we were able to get how much money for Clean House 2025? You said 900 more.
Is that counting check?
Wait, what'd you just say? What'd you say was the amount that they said on the call?
What?
Additional today was $900. $925 from the virtual, and literally
Count the check I got.
1925. 925 from the virtual, and then we had yesterday I think it was $300. So not considering everything else that was physically handed, we got $1,300 for Clean House 2025. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for your participation.
Maybe we can use
Here's another one
and
of
I
the
will
keys.
give you guys the next steps as I know them and they come
It's
around.
possible. That was hundreds of years ago.
So all the people who are here today,
Destroyed several
either really
villages.
peace.
And people died.
Hope I said something outside your life. You're part of investigating advocate, standing for yourself. You're not taking it no more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Archaeology with Flint Dibble, and my name is Flint Dibble. I'm an archaeologist with over 25 years of experience. I've done surveys in the desert. I have done surveys in Greece. I've excavated at Pompeii in Italy and throughout the Mediterranean world, from Stone Age caves to medieval castles. So I want to look today at this fun idea, this mysterious idea that is most famously associated with Graham Hancock.
We are looking at the faint fingerprints and traces of a lost civilization that explored and mapped the world more than 13,000 years ago.
they're telling us that this lost civilization was submerged in a great flood around 11,600 years before our time.
But most surveys show that about 50% of people believe in this idea of a lost civilization from the last ice age, right? And as somebody named Flint, who studies stone tools made out of flint, I'm familiar with ice age evidence. I'm familiar with evidence from advanced civilizations. And so I want to approach this from the point of view of an archaeologist. And in many ways, this idea that Hancock and others propose is very much a mysterious idea, this idea of the civilization that flourished, and at the end of the Ice Age, it was destroyed. It was a civilization that apparently spanned the entire globe across the Earth. And it's this idea that has captivated people for a few hundred years, that there was this civilization, it was destroyed at the end of the Ice Age with the rising of the seas, a cataclysmic flood, and the survivors taught hunter-gatherers the fruits of civilization, how to grow crops, how to navigate the seas, how to build monuments, about astronomy and whatnot. And so when we think about this idea, one of the big questions is what kind of technology are we looking for? For example, Graham Hancock has famously suggested that this civilization from more than 12,000 years ago had technology equivalent to our own modern day from the 18th or even early 19th centuries. And so I want to think through how we can test all of these ideas. And I want to also point out that this is not a new idea. This idea of a pre-flood civilization has been around for hundreds of years. It was made famous in the book Atlantis, the Antediluvian World in the late 19th century by Ignatius Donnelly. And even the ideas that we hear about today on Joe Rogan or Netflix about these ideas of a comet impact that caused the destruction of this civilization, that idea itself has been around since Ignatius Donnelly's time. For example, in this painting called Terror Antiquus, about the end of Atlantis, destroyed by an impact from outer space, as we can see. And this painting is from 1908, of course. So how can we go about testing this hypothesis? And I really do want to try to take this hypothesis seriously. 50% of people out there believe in it. And so I want to try to look at what our archaeological evidence, the hard evidence of stone tools, of artifacts, and of sites around the globe can actually say about this idea and how we can test it. And so I want to make this really clear. Archaeology is always updating with new evidence. We find new sites, new monuments, new artifacts every single year, and we develop new methods. And so archaeologists are always updating. A textbook from 50 years ago looks nothing like a textbook today. For example, now we understand that hunter-gatherers built extraordinarily phenomenal monuments around the world, from sort of these enclosures built out of mammoth bones and mammoth tusks, to famous sites like Poverty Point in Louisiana, one of the largest mound sites in the world, built by hunter-gatherers, or Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. And so this is kind of an important point I want to say. We also develop our hypotheses based off the known evidence that we have. So the reason why we say that Göbekli Tepe was built by hunter-gatherers is because we have thousands of seeds and animal bones from the site that shows that these were plants and animals that were collected and gathered, not produced through farming, and hunted, not produced through pastoral herding. And so we know this from the evidence that we have, who these people were and how they subsisted. And so the reality is that whatever we find, we publish. And in many ways, what is archaeological consensus is about convincing our colleagues. Every paper that I publish in the journals of archaeological science or elsewhere, what they do is they present new ideas where I am trying to convince my colleagues. And in this sense, we need to be very skeptical of people that are out there trying to convince the public, because the public is not familiar with archaeological evidence. Scholars are, professionals are, experts are. We're the ones that are familiar, and so if you want to change consensus, you need to present things in a way that convinces the people who understand the archaeological evidence that exists. So when we think about how do we test a lost civilization from the Ice Age, archaeologists work from the known to the unknown. We always take what we know and then try to use that to extrapolate, well, what do we need to explore? What do we need to excavate? What do we need to survey to look at the unknown? And Graham Hancock is famous for not wanting to do this. He wants to jump into the unknown.
I find my evidence not by going from the known to the unknown, as Dibble describes archaeological methodology, but by abandoning all preconceived notions and diving straight into the unknown to see what I find. But there is no evidence of a lost Ice Age civilization in what archaeologists have studied.
And what he does by doing that is he gets you, the public, to ignore all the known evidence, the real hardcore facts, the artifacts and the structures that relate to his hypothesis, this lost civilization. So if we're looking for a lost civilization from the Ice Age, the first thing we should be looking for is what is the archaeology of the Ice Age. And Hancock never does that. He never once in any of his TV shows or books looks at these kinds of stone tools from the Ice Age. And this is a big problem because when we dive into the evidence from the Ice Age, we can see the state and quality of our evidence and what it shows and whether there's room for such a large global civilization. At the same time, Hancock suggests, well, there's all these unknown expanses in the world that archaeologists are not exploring. For example, with all the sea level rise at the end of the Ice Age, we need to be looking underwater because surely this global civilization lived along the coasts. And so I will be looking and diving in on the evidence we have underwater and on Ice Age coasts so we can look at the evidence that is there from the Ice Age. Similarly, he loves to dive into the fact that we don't know much about the Sahara Desert or about the rainforest. And so let's look at what we do know, because that can inform us about what's possible in many ways. So first off, what Graham Hancock does do is he goes to sites that are definitely not Ice Age sites. For example, Gunung Padang in Indonesia, a site that's been intensively explored and excavated by archaeologists, including Dr. Lutfi Yondri from Indonesia, and his excavations have gone down and excavated below this monument. Here are a series of images that he has shared with me. You can see my interview with him on my YouTube channel. And in all these cases, he's excavated below the stone architecture. And from these areas below the stone architecture, he has found pottery, he has found stone tools, and he has found charcoal and bones that he has done radiocarbon dating on. And so in this sense, because he's excavated below this architecture, we know the date of the architecture. It's not possible that the architecture could date before the material that is underneath it. And the radiocarbon dates that he has found and published in articles and in books show that Gunung Padang, this wonderful monument, this terraced hillside in Indonesia that is part of the first episode of Graham Hancock's Ancient Apocalypse, it cannot be an Ice Age monument because the evidence clearly shows that the soils underneath it date to about 2100, 2200 years ago.
Gunung Padang is not a pyramid. Gunung Padang is a stone terrace. It's a specific culture in megalithic culture in the world. We know upright stone, we know about dormant, and Gunung Padang is stone terrace, not a pyramid. I have excavation and many blocks of excavation at Gunung Padang. I excavated terrace wall. I try to find the old layer, the surface when Gunung Padang built in the past. I found charcoal from terrace 1, terrace 2, terrace 3, 7. The charcoal have a context. The charcoal have a matrix. The charcoal have associations also provenience and related with Gunung Padang structure. The charcoal, I send it to laboratory. I get the dating of Gunung Padang structure. The cultural remain coming from 117 years before century until 45 before century. I find a pottery, stone mortar. I found the same association. The same provenience as the same matrix with the charcoal.
So it is a monument that was constructed sometime after that date. It is not an Ice Age monument. Likewise, for example, Graham Hancock goes to the Serpent Mound. And again, he suggests, well, maybe this is from the Ice Age. But archaeologists have dug through the Serpent Mound and they have pulled out radiocarbon dates, and it dates conclusively to just from a couple thousand years ago. It does not date from 12,000 years ago. It's simply impossible. Likewise, in the second season of Ancient Apocalypse, Graham Hancock goes to Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island, and he looks at these wonderful, magnificent moai. But what he gets you to ignore is that archaeologists, again, have excavated underneath them and underneath the platforms and the terraces that they are put on, and found radiocarbon dates from around the island. This is a map of all the radiocarbon dates from Rapa Nui, and they come from underneath, again, these platforms and these megalithic monuments.
This is from Mulrooney's work, Mara Mulrooney, a colleague of mine. This is just radiocarbon dating that we know.
Huh.
This is not sites. These are just radiocarbon dates that we have in stratified deposits that have gone through, the majority through radiometric hygiene. So they've gone through the principles of finding the best dates that we have, eliminating water, marine samples, and really trying to focus on short-lived burnt species that the island would have had through grasses and trees and bushes and whatnot. This is just carbon-14.
And so this is must total equal. I mean, because there's probably more than one at each of these points. So this must total equal hundreds of radiocarbon dates from different clear stratified contexts associated with what? Platforms and statues and all this excavation in situ.
And so what that means is these monuments cannot date earlier because of the fact that we have dates from under them. And we have very good coverage across the island, as we see. So we know that the occupation of this island does not date to 12,000 years ago. It dates to only about 1,200 years ago is the first occupation. And again, I have a nice video on Rapa Nui with Dr. Dale Simpson Jr., where we delve into this evidence in detail on this channel. Similarly, Hancock goes to Malta, and he shows you these wonderful temples. So what is the archaeologists have dug underneath them? And what we have found underneath them is radiocarbon dates, pottery, in fact, Neolithic villages that date after the Ice Age. Neolithic villages exist underneath some of these structures in Malta. And with this excavation that we have done, we know that those structures that he highlights, there cannot be from the Ice Age.
Kid.
There's a Neolithic village
Never step on
underneath them.
plates, even if they seem broken.
And so the reality is that archaeology has extraordinary evidence. Look at all the excavated sites on the island of Malta. Where is room for this lost civilization on this island? It's simply unthinkable, because we do have extraordinary evidence, because archaeologists work really hard to produce this evidence that none of you know about. So the reality is in my debate with Graham Hancock, he admitted that among all the evidence archaeologists have explored, there is no evidence for his lost civilization. So what is it that we're looking for?
Well, it's a bit small for a giant anyway, don't you think?
It's a trap!
But I wasn't sure.
Let's turn! We're about to die!
So what do we do?
Find a way out before we're crushed! This could break something! Come on, come on! Ah, great!
for if everywhere we've looked, we've found nothing? I want to really make this clear that archaeology itself has a huge data set. There have been millions of sites identified and billions of artifacts that have been studied around the world. And on top of it, if we focus in on Ice Age evidence, for example, the radiocarbon dates from the Paleolithic period and the Ice Age, the radiocarbon...
Let's turn! We're about to die! So what do we do?
Find a way out! Come on! Ah, great!
Are we going to drown now?
Fuck.
Thanks, Annika.
You would have done the same.
What am I listening to? Have you ever heard of what is it called? It's on Netflix. Ancient archaeology on Netflix. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just full of shit that doesn't make sense. Because she has the best hat in the world. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just full of shit, and this real archaeologist is kind of just saying, yeah, it's full of shit. It's just like the History Channel where they had that stupid History Channel show where everything was about aliens, but there's really no proof of aliens nowhere in the ancient world.
Let's keep going. The real tomb is in here somewhere. It has to be. You seem to believe Voss has some kind of evil agenda.
What do you know about his plans for the stones?
Stones? He never mentioned any stones.
Uh-oh. Seems like your boss is hiding things from you.
Voss is very busy. If these stones you're talking about are important, I'm sure he will tell me.
Another locked door here.
I can't get up here. Stop! I've seen this before. We both need to pull the handles, or a trap will activate.
All right.
Stop! The trap, remember? The other end of your whip.
You good?
You good?
Thank you, Professor.
I think it's possible we can't be the only ones in the universe that. Nah. So there's a lot of problems with that thinking. Sure, we can't be the only ones in the universe. I wouldn't even say that we are. How do we know? I don't know. It's very possible, given the number of planets, the number of stars, the number of everything that is out there. It's possible that we're not. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what nobody's saying. What I'm saying is, it's highly unlikely, at least given the evidence that we have, that there's any aliens that were helping people 5,000 years ago build fucking pyramids and do all kinds of shit. Just unlikely. There's no evidence of it. It's just, I don't understand anything, so therefore aliens. That's what the show says. Humans couldn't build pyramids. Aliens. Even though they did it in China and in South America and Central America too. Humans can do this. Aliens. Humans can do that. Aliens. Bro. It wasn't aliens. Yeah. We have no concrete proof of aliens. In a world where we have more cell phones than we have human beings, there's no concrete evidence of aliens. No, I'm not saying we're the only ones. I'm just saying we're the only ones here.
Wait, I'm standing on one of the trap doors. Now, we have to do this at the same time, or the trap doors will open.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that says there is good proof of any alien
I
anywhere.
think you're right. Let's have a look around.
So, on yeah. But all the other planets, yeah, but we don't know nothing about the other planets. We just know they exist. That's all we know about them. We don't know what's on them. We don't know what's going on in the universe. We have no fucking clue. We just barely sent a satellite out that hit the end of our solar system, let alone anywhere else. And then when it hit the end of our solar system, it pretty much died due to interplanetary radiation and it just being old and the the energy system, the battery system basically died on it. We don't know nothing. But what we do know is that we don't have any evidence for aliens on
Maybe
Earth.
there's more of them in here.
Damn it, more puzzles, bruh. More puzzles. Am I gonna die if I go down there? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't go down there. What would concrete evidence showing aliens do to Christianity? Oh, for some it would wreck it. For others, they would just incorporate it. The Christian church has incorporated new evidence of science and the external universe and world for thousands of years. They figured out the earth wasn't flat. The church went along with it. They figured out that the sun wasn't the earth is not the center of the universe. They went along with it. The church is at some point not hostile to science. Usually it is at the beginning, but then it comes around.
This might be our exit once we're done here.
I mean, there's pretty conspiracies to be had. Like, there's at least 2 holes in North America in the United States that are seemingly never ending. And every time somebody puts something down in the hole, something weird happens. We don't know why. Don't understand it. It just is. You could say it's a lot of people say it's a hole that goes to another dimension or another time period or another something. Who knows? We don't know. But seemingly, the government is protecting the hole. You can't even go to it anymore. And the farmer that used to live there pretty much got evicted off of his land, more or less.
That did it.
You haven't heard about this? Let me see if I can find it. I think this one is it. Why every time I stream I get this, but when I'm not streaming I don't get this? It's kind of weird.
On Meltwater's
I'll just say it this way. All the things that we didn't understand, that we attributed to conspiracies, religion, deities, monsters, and then we learned and we figured out, it's always, every single time, it's none of these things. It's always the universe just does weird shit. So again, there's just little evidence. Maybe, yeah, there's something weird that goes on with OBS and not just Chrome, but anything that's Chromium. That would be Microsoft Edge, Firefox, and Google Chrome.
property in the Monastash Ridge west of Ellensburg, Washington, there's a hole in the ground that looks like a well. But it's not a well. Like the owners of the property before him, Mel used the hole as a trash
All right, I'm gonna grab a
dump.
drink while
His
you watch
neighbors
this real
used
quick.
it too. Garbage, broken appliances, old tires, everything went into the hole. After a while, Mel started to wonder, why doesn't it fill up? And then he started to notice other strange things about the hole. His dogs wouldn't go near it. It caused his radio to pick up strange signals, and it didn't seem to have a bottom. Mel's curiosity became an obsession. Well, let's see if we can get to the bottom of Mel's hole. Mel's hole is a round pit 9 feet 9 inches in diameter. There's a stone retaining wall built around it that goes down about 15 feet. After that, the hole extends down into darkness. Well, not only did Mel Waters and his wife dump everything in the hole, but so did his neighbors. And this has been going on for a long time, for years before Mel even moved in. Mel's neighbors said they couldn't remember a time when the hole wasn't there. So why can't you hear objects hitting the bottom? Why can't you hear your own echo? Mel set out to determine exactly how far down this hole goes. An avid fisherman, Mel had spools of fishing line on hand. So he attached a 1-pound weight to the line and sent it down the hole. It went 4,500 feet, the full length of the reel, and didn't hit bottom. He reeled the line up, attached a roll of lifesavers, and sent it all the way down again. Mel wanted to see if there was water at the bottom, and if there was, the lifesavers would come up dissolved, but they came up dry. And Mel had more spools of fishing line, each one 5,000 feet. He attached another spool, now down almost 10,000 feet, and still no bottom. Spool after spool of fishing line went down the hole. He could not reach the bottom. By the time Mel ran out of line, he was 80,000 feet down, over 15 miles, and still no bottom. While experimenting, Mel noticed that his dogs wouldn't come anywhere near the hole. Even when forced, the dogs would dig their feet in. There were no animals of any kind near the hole. No wildlife, no insects.
Let me put it to you this way. In all of human history, we have found no evidence of any deities, no evidence of any aliens, no evidence of any sea monsters or grand super monsters. We found no evidence of that. But during all the science and all the time, and especially during the last 2 centuries, what we did find was that the universe is a weird and crazy ass place. The universe is weird enough without all the other stuff that we make up in our heads. We found the Higgs boson particle, aka the God's particle. We filled out the periodic table of the elements. We figured out how the solar systems form and how galaxies form and why the mechanics of that, and perhaps maybe even how the universe is formed. We've gone all the way down to the most minute particles in the universe, and we can study them. We figured out the speed limit of known matter in the universe is light. Go sit down now. We figured all these things out. And we figured all these things out, and we still haven't found no space monsters, no aliens, no nothing. Just isn't happening. It just hasn't happened.
Birds even...
So I would say that anything else new that we find out is probably not going to be those things. Just isn't.
Flew around it. And since the hole was known to his neighbors, Mel asked around if anyone noticed their dogs feeling uneasy by the hole. And they all said yes. Then one of his neighbors said, "Speaking of dogs, not too long ago his dog died, so he threw its body into the hole. A few days later, that dog came back." After Mel's neighbor threw his dead dog into the hole...
Why? Just why?
I don't know.
You can't bury it?
I really don't know.
Sometimes humans are very disappointing.
They certainly can be. Anyway, a couple of days after disposing of his dog's body down the hole, he saw it running through a wooded area near the property. Now, he knew it was his dog because it was wearing the same collar, but for some reason, the dog didn't come when he called. And the dog acted like he didn't know his owner at all.
Ooh, maybe it's a version of his dog from another dimension.
Well, that's definitely a theory. And as the weird stories piled up and the fishing line kept going down, Mel was at a loss. He was...
out of his depth?
Right. Mel needed help figuring out exactly what this hole was. And in 1997, there's only one place to discuss the strange and mysterious and be taken seriously. Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening and or good morning wherever you may be across this great land of ours.
Coast to Coast was on hundreds of stations around the world and had 10 million listeners. If anyone could help Mel, it was Art Bell and his audience. Mel sent Art a message on February 21st, 1997. Art called him, and Mel's hole became known to the world. Over the course of several shows, Mel Waters would reveal more and more details about the mysterious hole. The good news is Mel was getting really good advice from people all around the world, like use a laser to measure or use radar to check the distance. The bad news is now millions of people knew about this hole, and from clues given by Mel on the radio, you can get a pretty good idea of where it was. The day after the first broadcast, Mel was returning to his property, but the entrance was blocked.
The government.
Yep. The U.S. military was now aware of the hole, and they wanted it, all to themselves.
After the show on Friday night, I went out there and...
God damn it!
And,
all right, so the only thing you need to realize the way this guy tells stories is that he's going to tell you that the story, the what do you call it, the old wives' tale, the common understanding of the story first. That doesn't mean everything he's saying in the story is actually true. So take it for what it's worth.
Noticed there were some helicopter activity around the property.
Yeah, I would agree. But I don't think we're people who lived on a land for like 3 generations, 5 generations, 9 generations. Some people don't want to move.
There was further helicopter activity the next day. And so I figured that clearly somebody out there listens to your program.
All right.
Mel said that the hole could affect things in the environment around it. Animals
need to
avoided
get
it,
this
but
working
plants seemed to
first.
grow extremely well. Radios acted weird. If Mel brought a radio near the hole, the signal would get very staticky and then start picking up broadcasts from somewhere else. One day his radio
It needs
started picking up
power.
what he describes as old-time music. So he goes to change the channel and tunes into a baseball game.
Point behind the St. Louis first baseman. When on second, 2 outs.
This is fine until he learns the game was played in 1967,
Demons.
30
Used
years
for
ago.
scaring off
Art's first
unwanted
call with Mel
visitors.
goes on for about an hour and then they wrap up. Mel was staying in Ellensburg for a couple of days and had made the call from there. When Mel Waters returned from town, the access road to his property was blocked by armed military personnel, and there was evidence that heavy machinery had been brought in. Mel was told there was a plane crash on the property, but there was no crash was completely investigated. When Mel asked to speak to the person in charge, a man in civilian clothes told him that the land was not necessarily his anymore, and it would be very easy to find a drug lab on the property if he didn't leave. Mel threatened to go to the press. The man in charge,
Man in black.
the man in black, told him, go ahead and talk. Nobody would believe it. But Art Bell and his audience would believe it. And a few days
Great
later,
idea.
Art called Mel for an
Key up
update.
there.
Mel said that a neighbor saw a dark beam coming out of the hole and up through the clouds, darker than anything he'd ever seen. Now, Mel admitted he didn't see this himself, but Art Bell and several callers said that this part of Washington has a lot of UFO sightings, disappearances, and other paranormal activity. Callers had their own theories. Maybe the hole was sitting on a ley line and there was a portal to another dimension, or it was a portal through time, and that's why everything thrown into it disappeared. Maybe somewhere in an alternate reality, there's a big pile of garbage, old appliances, and dead animals just piling up. Who knows? One caller thought this could be a tunnel to the hollow earth.
Ooh, like a subway for lizard people.
Something like that. There were a lot of theories. And since Mel couldn't access his property anymore, he talked to other locals trying to get more information. An elderly neighbor said that many years ago, there was a series of...
Fuck. Men in Black. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Men in Black. You know the Men in Black, right? Basically, the government that comes, the secret government motherfuckers that be coming and tell you bullshit. Doesn't have to just do with aliens. People usually refer to the Men in Black as the people, just the weird government people who come and tell you that, yeah, that there's a weird thing going on and you have to leave. Bye.
stone columns around the hole.
Like Stonehenge?
Right, but without the cross beams, which are called lintels.
Lentils?
Lintels.
What'd I say?
Someone from the audience reminded Mel that calling into the show is a big mistake because obviously the government is listening. So the show ends and Mel agrees to come back for an update. On the day Mel is scheduled to reappear, he's a no-show and not picking up his phone.
Maybe my audience is not aware, but a television crew went up to Ellensburg after we did the last program. And
lay down and go to sleep.
This, and I'll be doggone, they didn't find.
Or are you going back in the
they
room?
did find near the area where you were talking about a lot of military boot prints and all kinds of information that would indicate the military, in fact, had been there or was there.
Oh, they would have probably seen a lot of yellow gear tread marks in the on the ground.
Yep.
It would be 3 years before Mel resurfaces. He said he was offered $3 million a year to lease his property to somebody. But the deal was sign a non-disclosure agreement, leave the country immediately, and never come back. So Mel takes the deal, and he lives in Australia.
Yeah, but a lot of things in the world are mysteries, right? Think about the first time somebody, I think it was in New Mexico, saw a nuclear bomb go off. Bruh, just like even today, if somebody's seen a nuclear bomb go off, you'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" But remember, in the 40s, I think when they started, or 50, I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of mysteries that are out there. Natural mysteries, people mysteries, government mysteries. Like, we don't know anything about anything as people. We don't know a lot of things. Again, I'll point you to the argument about the earth is flat. You couldn't tell me that the earth isn't flat. You don't have, I'm not saying you didn't specifically, but because I don't either. But we couldn't prove that the earth isn't flat. We only know that because we're taught that in science. But I don't know the scientific methods in which to prove that. So there's so many mysteries out there in the world. And in the world today where people don't trust institutions, governments, schools, universities, experts, scientists, it's even easier for people to say, yeah, you know what? The entire world is being handled by some secret organization of people, whether it be people, aliens, or whatever the fuck you want to make up. It's easy to do that. What it is hard to do is to actually find out that information. If you wanted to know if the earth isn't flat, you could go do it. There's plenty, even if the internet died tomorrow, you could go to a library and figure it the fuck out. But I can apply this to the moon landing. No, you can't. You just can't. Because you wouldn't be typing on this computer right now if there wasn't no moon landings. That's the issue, right? Most of the scientific discoveries that are electronic, and not most, but a lot of the discoveries that we did are because of our venture into space. This is how we got GPS. This is how we got satellite internet. All these things. Not only that, the lines that are laid are there considering the fact that the Earth is round. The Earth from space looks round, yeah, but not that many people have been in the space, right? Not that many people. I'm just saying.
For 2 years, but he's missing his family and decides to come back to the States for a visit.
Not smart.
It wasn't. Mel was warned.
I guess what my real point is that we as common layman people don't know a lot of things. Even if you're a doctor, you don't know anything about your computer. If you're an IT person, you don't know anything about patching wounds. What was accomplished? Pyramids? Bruh. Think of it this way. If something catastrophic happened right now, killed what is there, 8 billion people? And it killed 7 billion people. 7.5 billion people today, right now, as we're talking. And it took another 10,000 years. Hold on. Anyways, it took another 10,000 years to recreate civilization. And in 10,000 years, those new people who have their own world that doesn't look nothing like ours, they don't have a New York City, they don't have a Tokyo, Hong Kong, whatever. They got their own shit going on, their own buildings, their own infrastructure, and their own structures and their own engineering and all this stuff. They're not driving Hondas and Toyotas. They're doing whatever. They look back into the archaeological record and they find us human beings from the 21st century in the lake. Damn. They created the Burj Khalifa. All right, the Burj Khalifa. I don't know if that's. I don't know how that. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But let's just say that that's what it is, right? This stupid building here. Well, I don't know why I call it stupid, but it's the tallest building in the world, right? This building here. This building is huge. stupidly big. It's so big that from the top of the building, you can see the curve of the earth. It's so fucking big. This building is crazy. These are skyscrapers, like in New York. This is this building up here, giving no fucks about what you feel. What is it? I don't care about this. Bruh! Close. Close. Okay. Right. This building is crazy. It's 500 acres. This building is 500 acres on the inside. It is a stupidly big building. They're going to look at this and be like, damn, they created this? How? Because nothing that we have today creates this. And that's the problem. Humans forget things. We very easily forget things. In the Mayan, no, the Aztec or the Mayan, they have no idea even how the civilization that they made on top of their previous civilization created those things. They just used it. They just kept building. But they don't know how. So the point is that humans tend to forget technology because information gets lost over the millennia, the thousands of years in between things when things happen. So it's quite possible that they figured it out. And not only that, you're talking probably about tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people working for 10, 20, 30 years at a time. You can do things with human ingenuity. You can do whatever the fuck you want. We don't build our modern day technology to build pyramids. We could build a pyramid if we wanted to. We just don't build things. We don't make any tools to make those things because why the fuck do we want pyramids? We don't even need pyramids. Why the fuck? Well, there's no reason to have pyramids. Pyramids are great when your technology is low because they don't collapse. But when you have high technology and you can build a building straight up, this is what we do. We build the tallest building on Earth. It's 162 stories, 185,000 square feet, 500 acres, has over 1,000 apartments in it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it could be very well in the future, they don't know how to build that type of building because they don't use our tools and our methods and they don't use our ideas. Not only that, another reason we don't build a pyramid is because we live in a capitalistic world and they didn't. In a capital world, we build things because things need to make money. This building has to make money. You don't build the tallest building and it doesn't make you any money. But back in the ancient world, where they didn't live under capitalism, they lived under a different type of system where it didn't have to do something, make money. They built what they felt was necessary. They cared more about their theological thoughts and mysticisms and religion. And that was the thing that dictated their life. So they built things that were reflective of what they cared about. And they cared a lot about burying their dead and sending them to the afterworld and blah, blah, blah. They cared about that shit. Because it's not just the pyramids. All over Egypt in the ancient world, you'll see huge monuments just to burying people. Now today, we just put them in the ground and put a little fucking stone statue about 2 feet high. Because we don't care. But we care about making money and building and being the most epic money maker and being the biggest and the best. So this is why we get these types of buildings. That's what I'm saying. It's easy. Humans are not that hard to figure out. I don't think so.
Not to do this, but he does it anyway. And during this time, he gets in touch with Art Bell and agrees to come on the radio. But he never shows up. Mel said on the day he was supposed to come on, he was on a bus to visit his nephew.
Just think about this. What if we really cared about electric cars? We could have built electric cars 100 years ago. 10,000 years in the future, they look back at us and be like, why didn't they just build electric cars? Why did they waste so much on fossil fuel cars that was hurting their environment and their health? And they could have built electric cars 100 years prior. Well, that's because we live in a capitalistic world that's controlled by people with money and power, right? So that we do what the money and power says to do.
And on the bus, there was some kind of altercation and the police were called. All the passengers are questioned and put on a different bus. Then Mel blacks out. And the next thing he remembers is that he's in San Francisco and 12 days have passed. Mel woke up in an alley. His wallet and keys were missing. He realizes his arm hurts. He rolls up his sleeve and there are needle holes and tape marks from an IV. And as he becomes more lucid, he tastes blood in his mouth. His back teeth are missing.
Whoa.
Mel never makes it back to the property. There was legal action taken against him for illegal construction. Power lines, septic tanks, paved roads. Of course, he didn't build these. The government had occupied the property for 2 years. Still, Mel lost everything. And a day or two after calling into Art's show, his bank account was emptied. Now, to be fair, plenty of people are calling in saying that this is all a hoax, but Art Bell is the master. Hoax or not, it's a great story, so he lets Mel continue. But Art does say that a TV crew was in the area looking for the hole. They didn't find it, but they did find evidence of a lot of military activity, and the no-fly zone has been mysteriously expanded to cover the area. In fact, TerraServer, which was a mapping site before Google Earth, showed that the whole area was blacked out, and this was confirmed. Skeptical callers said that Mel could have found the blacked out part of the map and pretended his property was there.
Let me know if you can hear it, because I can hear it.
TerraServer launched 6 months after Mel made the first phone call. He couldn't have known. Soon we learned that a Native American tribe had contacted Mel and asked him if he wanted to come to Nevada and help them research.
Research what?
Another bottomless hole.
Okay, okay.
They took you to it. They took me there. I did not go all the way up to the hole, but there was conversations between the Native Americans and the Basque and blah blah blah, and they basically agreed that everything was as it should be. That I wasn't from CNN or the FBI or CIA or whatever. And so I went there and I got to see the hole. Now, what's there?
The second hole was located on the Indian reservation where they lived. It was actually on public land that was used by Basques. The Basques are an ethnic group that comes from a small region between France and Spain. The Basques settled a couple of areas in the United States, including Nevada, in the mid-1800s, and they were using this land to herd sheep. They told Mel that the hole was there for as long as their people were, so at least 200 years. And they consider the hole and the land around it sacred. This hole was just over 9 feet wide, just like Mel's. But where Mel's hole had a stone retaining wall of a few feet, this second hole had a metal collar and metal lining down as far as the eye can see. And this hole was warm to the touch. You could feel heat all around it. And the metal wouldn't make any sound or vibrate at all. Mel accidentally dropped a tool on the metal collar and the impact was completely silent. So Mel and the Basque begin their experiments. The first test was they lowered a bucket of ice down into the hole about 1,000 feet, and they kept some ice at the surface as a control. When the surface ice was melted, they brought the bucket back up. That ice didn't melt at all. And even stranger, the ice was no longer cold to the touch, and it wasn't wet. The ice felt like large pieces of salt. So they tried to melt the ice over an open flame.
It didn't melt, did it?
Nope, it caught fire. Not only that, it continued to burn for months. So they continued sending different amounts of ice down the hole. About 2/3 of the time it melted normally, but 1/3 of the time it was transformed. Now at this point, one of the braver Basque volunteered to go down the hole himself.
What? Is he nuts?
Yeah, everyone agrees that's not a good idea. So they decided to send down a sheep.
A sheep? Oh, what happened to the sheep? Oh no!
Well, I just felt I was in the presence of something extraordinary, something beyond extraordinary, something like in that category of having a religious thing. This was just such a stunning thing to witness.
The sheep did not want to go in the hole. The closer it got, the more it tried to kick its way out of its crate. They lowered the crate down the hole to 1,000 feet. At that point, it stopped moving, and they felt a humming sensation. They left the sheep down there for 30 minutes and then brought it back up. There was no movement. The crate was unchanged and the sheep looked fine, but it was dead. The Basque, being shepherds, knew how to butcher a sheep, so they brought it to a table for a quick autopsy.
Oh, for crying out loud, what are they doing?
The first thing that they noticed is that the sheep looked like it was cooked from the inside. And taking up almost the entire cavity of the sheep's body was what Mel described as a giant tumor.
Ugh.
Then the tumor starts moving.
What in the is going on with this story?
Oh!
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is intense.
Then they cut the tumor open.
No!
Inside the tumor is what Mel describes as a fetal seal.
Wait. Did you just say a fetal seal?
Yeah, like a baby seal. It was attached to the tumor by an umbilical cord, but this seal-like creature had the eyes of a human. They watched the creature for a while as it crawled to the end of the table, and Mel felt like it wanted to get back to the hole, so he picked it up and set it near the edge. Of course, the creature was slimy, and Mel said that the fluid had the smell of ozone. So the men studied the creature, and it seemed to study the men for about 2 hours. Then the seal creature gave them a final look and jumped in the hole. Now, before Mel went to Nevada, he was diagnosed with advanced esophageal cancer. He had only 6 months to live. But after this experience, Mel was cancer-free. He thinks he was cured by the
magic seal.
Yep. Mel felt like he had a transcendent experience. He was completely changed after this. And just then, the radio show runs out of time.
No!
Across from me over here is the actual roadway into Mel's Hole. Don't go up that road. Up there a ways is a fence, but you get across that fence, you're in a deep bunch of trouble. It might be that you simply disappear, period.
A few months later, Mel returned to Coast. Something crazy happened with that bucket of ice. Remember one of the Basque took the burning ice to his cabin to keep warm? He had it in a stove. It burned for months, and it was pulling all the moisture out of the air. The air in the cabin was always dry. The owner's skin was always dry. He was constantly thirsty. When boiling water, the steam would be pulled into the stove. One day, the stove crashed to the floor, and into the ground under the cabin. But it was still warm, so he patched up the floor and used the hole for
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so this story kind of strikes me as one of those Native American stories that kind of lives on today. And you should subscribe to this channel because they got a lot of this stuff. It's called the Y Files. They have a lot of like conspiracies and mysteries and stuff like that, and they tell you stories about that. I think Jakandar told me about this, or I found it and we talked about it. I'm not really sure. I don't, but yeah, it's a good channel.
for warmth. A couple of weeks later, he's returning home and his entire cabin has collapsed and turned to dust. He moves in with his brother for a while. A month later, he comes back to the cabin and sees that the stove is now 5 feet underground, and the hole made by the stove was perfectly smooth.
It was making a new baby bottomless hole.
It was, and they couldn't get the stove back up. It took a giant crane to finally get the stove out of the hole. And at this point, the Basque said they were sometimes visited by the entity that they discovered in the hole.
The magic seal?
Yes, the magic seal. They felt it was a benevolent presence and considered the whole experience to be very spiritual. There are now brightly colored birds circling the hole, birds that seem to be immune to bullets.
That's how they respond to a spiritual experience? Shoot the birds?
I guess.
Freaking Basque.
The Basque even believe the magic seal is communicating with them over the radio using a system of beeps and clicks as language which they can understand. The creature warns the Basque that the ice is dangerous and can't fall into the wrong hands and would lead to the destruction of the planet. Art asks if there's a recording of this language. There is. The Basque recorded everything. For the next hour, a few more theories are considered, and Art finally gets Mel to agree to come back on the show. But this time, he would bring the recording, photos, video, and everything he can get his hands on. Mel agrees to go back to Nevada and gather all the evidence. He hangs up, and the show ends. Mel is never heard from again. He doesn't respond to Art's calls, and eventually the line is disconnected. So after 5 years, the story of Mel's hole finally comes to an end. But it left so many questions. There are a lot of Art Bell highlights, and Mel's hole is right near the top. So how much of the story can we confirm? First, the location of the hole. TerraServer did black out that part of Washington, but on Google Earth it showed back up. But if the military really had taken over the property, they would have covered up the hole. People have been searching for it for years, and of the many locations I found, there was one that was really compelling. This is the Google map. Someone actually went to the location to see what was there. These are the pictures. During one of his phone calls, Mel said there were 2 old buildings on the property, and one of them eventually collapsed under snow. This fits the description pretty well. And also on the property is this. Yep, a hole about 9 feet wide with a stone retaining wall, exactly how Mel described. Now this caused quite a stir online, but the hole turned out to be an old well and definitely had a bottom. If you search the internet, you'll find a lot of people claiming they found Mel's hole. They haven't. It's never been found. At least, not yet. As for Mel, he's a complicated character. There's no record of a Mel or Melvin Walker.
Wait, you can't see the video? You don't see the video above me? Or you want to see it big? Pause. Pause on the big. Pause on the big. Can you not see it? Oh, big. Okay. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Waters living in the area, but some have claimed he was using a pseudonym to protect his identity. That makes sense. Now, something that really hurts the credibility of the story is the lack of pictures. In every call, Art asks for photographs, but sometimes Mel just doesn't think to take a picture. He forgets, which is ridiculous. Another time he says cameras don't work near the hole because of interference.
That's not ridiculous.
Or he
Wait, that's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous not to take pictures. There's a lot of people out there who don't have the I don't know, the initiation to just take pictures because something happens and pull out a cell phone, because I think that's kind of weird, because I don't either.
does have pictures and recordings, but they're not handy, so he'll send them when he can. But in Mel's defense, he never plugs anything. Even if this is a hoax, he could have made a fortune selling t-shirts, books, phony photographs, anything. People would buy that stuff just because it's cool. I would buy a Mel's Hole t-shirt.
I went to Mel's Hole, and all I got was this magic seal fetus.
Yeah, that part of the story was pretty wild. And that's a common argument, that Mel's story got crazier and crazier, and eventually he just couldn't keep up with it, so he bailed on the hoax. But he was pretty consistent with the facts over 5 years. And Art Bell tried many, many times to trip him up, and he couldn't do it. Now, the hole itself just isn't geologically possible. A hole many miles deep would be unstable and collapse in on itself.
Unless it was a bottomless hole to another dimension.
Right, unless it's that. But I don't think we'll ever know. Mel's Hole has many believers, but I don't think Art Bell was one of them. But Art was an entertainer, and this is the type of story that his listeners loved. It's a legend that people still talk about 30 years later. But for me in this channel, this was a masterclass on how to present an urban legend. Let the story breathe, but still challenge the specifics. Explore the mystery, but keep it grounded. Be critical, but compassionate. I try to approach topics this way, but very few others do. A channel that tells mysterious stories without giving all the facts will get more clicks, and it will get more subscribers. But that's a shame, because it's dishonest and you deserve better.
Wait, hold on.
We all do.
He says that while he has 11 million views on this video and 4.5 million subscribers.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is AJ, that's Hecklefish. This has been the Y-Files. If you had fun or learned anything, do me a favor and like, subscribe, comment, and share. Today's story was a request from you.
I mean, you could make money probably off of just internet trends, right? Like when the girl did the whole Hawk Tour thing, you could have made some Hawk Tour shirts and sold them on whatever and made some money. I don't know.
If you'd like to suggest a video, go to theyfiles.com/tips. Special thanks to our generous patrons.
Yeah, there's lots of this stuff on this channel. Yeah, there's a ton of shit on here. Well, yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe anything on here. There's a lot of things in the world that are mysteries to people. Like the Bermuda Triangle. I don't believe that the Bermuda Triangle sucks up airplanes and ships and sends them to another dimension. No, I don't believe that. Probably just a rational explanation. I don't know. Nobody knows. Let's see what they're talking about here.
No.
But God forbid,
God,
God forbid you actually have to serve the man that you're with,
I will,
your
but
dream man.
I don't think that my dream man wants me to crawl in the door.
Who said that?
And lay on the floor and say, "Take me, take me. I'll do anything for you." Because now you're a thirsty bitch, and I don't like you. You're a whore. You probably do that for everybody.
See, you guys have just completely failed 100% to grasp anything I was just saying. It's actually quite impressive how quickly the point just flies over your head. But what I'm saying is that instead of doing whatever you were just, like whatever crawling you were just doing, the idea is that you walk in. I will. Thank you. The idea is that you walk in and you say, and you observe the guy, who he is, and you sort of try and ascertain how you could bring value to his life. And then maybe you have a few questions to ask him about what he does, what his needs are, how I can help you, and then you can say whether or not that's something you...
So, what do you think about these types of shows right here? Because I think there's some truth to them, but I think there's a lot of bullshit. You can't tell a person how to live based on like some cookie cutter bullshit. Oh no!
You'll never ask your dream man, hey, honey, is there anything I can do for you today? Can I make your life easier?
Now that I'm with you, today. But when you came up
to
me and why was you sitting here like this? Okay, that's not my dream man. One, but two, here's what I need from you. I need you to do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. Can you do that? If my answer is anything other than yes, then I'm done.
Yeah.
Right?
See, the difference is though, I can have, if I was that guy, right? Just say I'm everybody's dream man, and then I have a bunch of women walking into the room, and then I'm going to tell them all, I want you to do this, 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 and this. You know what they're all going to say? Okay, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Oh yeah, that's me. But if I have them come and sell themselves, and someone comes in and asks those questions and is really observant of myself, then it's going to set her apart, because you know what it shows? Initiative. And actually men like women who have initiative.
I hear your point. That's good.
All right, we need to get into a couple things. I did hear the term mansplain, though. Why don't we investigate that a little bit? When you say mansplain, can you define that so we understand it?
I don't think these are thoughts based on how they look. I think these are more like girl power. Go girl, you go girl, take girls. That's what they are.
Well, he was mansplaining a question he already asked that we already answered.
Were you mansplaining it, Jake?
No, well, if mansplaining is based on the fact that you already understood, then you are sorely mistaken with your terms.
I kind of think mansplain is a bit of a sexist term. It's kind of, it's kind of, well,
yes, you can
I feel like
sexist
women would be very upset if there was a term like she-laborating.
She-laborating?
And I dismiss whatever you're trying to tell me. I simply dismiss it by saying, oh, well, you're she-laborating. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear your she-laboration. So
he's not wrong.
I just think, putting man before explain, mansplaining.
I mean,
like for example, wait, hold on. I have the perfect example. Let's change man. Let's change it to black-splaining. Is it racist?
I knew you was
Hold
gonna
on.
say that.
Is it
I knew you was
racist?
gonna say that.
Well,
This
do
is,
you want me
mind
to explain
you,
a black
hold on.
term, or what are we explaining?
Hold on. Mind you, this is a
I'd like to do
term
that
I
for
would
you.
never use, but is that a racist term?
True.
You just made that shit up.
Nah,
Let's
see?
assume
Okay,
it-
black explain it. Okay, so if I'm
Hold on. How is it not the same?
Because black people aren't the oppressors. White
Oh.
men are the
Ooh.
oppressors. So yeah, y'all can take that little mansplaining, that little discrimination, because y'all.
Ooh,
are
I
over
got
us.
something though.
Right, you can
just
take that.
told
That's like
us
if
we
we
need
said
to submit to
white
you
splain.
by
If we said white splain, we could say that.
Oh, you can say white
We
splain.
can say white splain because they're the oppressors.
Listen,
That's how
I was
go.
talking to my man
Okay,
today.
so-
Wait,
We can say white splain.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate these type of people. It's good for me, but it ain't good for you. I can do it, and you can't do it. These people are toxic as fuck.
I was
Fuck
talking
these
to my
people.
man today. He was like, "Here's the difference between a man and a woman speaking. A man is thinking about how the other man is gonna think about it. Like he's thinking about all the men because they all think the same. You can
What?
predict a guy the way that they think, but as a woman, they're speaking for only themselves. And in reality, a man is already going to collectively make everything that you say about every woman in the room. You hear me or no?
No.
So you're saying men make things
So your man-
generalized
Yes, 100%.
versus women make things their specificity or individualness?
Yes.
No, women.
I mean, maybe every once in a while, like all women. No, I don't even have an example for that. Like, oh, all women
have you ever
love
said
when a
men-
man
have
is
you ever said
strong.
men
No, I
suck?
like
Have you ever
girls.
said
Like,
men-
what are you talking about?
Have you ever said men suck?
What do they suck on?
What the fuck?
Bro, that was the actually retarded answer ever.
What you'll actually find is that when women
No.
and men receive information, men tend to compartmentalize information, whereas women tend to take all of the information,
Make it about them.
rub it all together like this, and then make it about themselves.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that a woman is thinking about themselves and a man is thinking collectively as a man is one. You,
A man,
you know
a
what I'm
man
saying?
thinks logically,
Okay.
whereas women think emotionally.
Whatever the word you want to use is, they're thinking of them as a collective, whereas a woman isn't.
Stop the prattle. Stop the prattle. So,
I don't.
So let's explore these terms a little bit. So you said there's an oppressor-oppressed dynamic. Is that your position between men and women, that there's an oppressor-oppressed dynamic between men and women?
I didn't say that.
No, I don't agree.
So that's just your position.
Yeah.
But you don't think it's sexist to say...
And if it is?
What, mansplaining?
And if it is?
Shut up. Hold on, bro. I can only talk to one person at a time. So, going back to this before I was so rudely interrupted.
Spicy today.
Yeah, I was talking to you, and I was hoping to have a conversation with you. She rudely
Yo, my bad is
interrupted both
bad.
of us. So I'm just trying to better understand. So you don't think mansplaining is sexist?
No.
Okay. Would the term
And if it
blacksplaining be racist?
You just made that shit up. I don't care.
No, but would it be?
No. What do you
Like, let's say you were telling me
Is there a
something.
definition? Give me the definition.
Whatever.
How about if you were trying to explain, for example, the history of redlining to him, and he goes, "Oh, why are you blacksplaining?"
We flipping the table over.
You guys just made this shit up. I don't even care.
I mean,
no, I get
We did.
Oh
make up the
my God,
hypothetical,
they're
yeah.
stupid.
But, I
So
mean,
is it
They're
racist?
actually
No.
stupid.
You guys made that shit up.
But hold on. I mean, let's assume we did make it up. If you just take an analysis of the actual term blacksplaining, which by the way, I think that's a racist term. Okay. I would never dismiss if a black person was explaining something to me, I would never just dismiss their position. Oh, okay, that's.
I got a question.
So I think that's racist. I think you should.
Are all women like this, or most women like this, or is it just the women that these shows find? Are they all this stupid? There's no way. There's no way. No way. Ain't no fucking way,
I
bro.
think that would be deeply offensive to black people.
Let me get upset with you.
I mean, no, I'm not a proponent of the term. I'm against the
You
term.
just made it up.
I mean,
She's
you
so
could probably
dumb.
Google this and people have
Shut
probably
the
used
fuck
it
up.
before. But whether I made it up,
Necessary?
yeah, I mean,
It
this
actually
is just
doesn't
a
matter
fallacy.
at
It's
all.
just a-
Actual
whether I
difference.
made
Doesn't
it up-
matter at all, because what he's doing,
I'm
he's
testing
using
your
an
logic.
analogy, right? And he's using blacksplaining, whether he made it up or not,
Asked
to
and
see whether or not your logic is consistent and whether you're actually morally consistent with your.
She's
your
not morally
mansplaining and
consistent
with
'cause she's a
blacksplaining.
dumbass.
If you think that's, between sexism and
I don't care
racism.
about either.
Me personally, they are both one and the same. Yes, you're correct. Yes, mansplaining could be sexist. Maybe you deserve to be sexualized a little bit because women been going through it their whole life.
Well, no, it's not
and then,
sexualizing, but okay.
I haven't been sexualized at this table.
Okay, sexist, making it always women, men.
You meant sexist. Go ahead.
Is it a podcast of one person or what?
Hey, hold on.
This is hard.
We don't speak.
Yeah, you got. Hold on. Look.
Don't forget to ask us questions.
Hey. First off, there's a panel of 10 people here total. Have you ever run a podcast? It's difficult. Look, people are going to have their time to speak. We spent 5-10 minutes talking about your 100 dates. You've gotten maybe the second. I mean, I wasn't here when Jake was here. You've already gotten a lot of attention. You'll get a little bit more, okay?
Woo!
But like, it's not
Sassy.
your job as a guest and a panelist to dictate to me. Oh, I don't feel like I've been given an adequate amount of time to speak in the past 10 minutes. So, how about this? If I want to talk to her for the next 2 hours and all of you have to shut the fuck up for the next 2 hours, I'm not going to do that because I'd love to hear from all of you. But if I was inclined to just talk to, in fact, I decide I just want to talk to Jake for the next 2 hours about fucking Australia.
I'm intercepting.
If I want to talk about Australia,
I think that's wrong.
Well, I'm gonna fucking do it.
If we're going to talk about oppression, the Australians are the most oppressed out of everyone.
So, I'm going to try to involve other people here, but she's made a comment. I'm going to address it. Are you dissatisfied with the amount of tension you're currently receiving?
Damn.
Sure, go ahead.
Passive aggressive as fuck.
To you, it was more to her because you asked
Okay,
the
I'll
question
accept
and
that.
she start talking. It's like about we respect each other. It's about that.
Wow.
So you're asking me to shut the fuck up.
Please do us a favor. Turn around and tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, tell me, shut the fuck up. You have the, whenever you want to speak, you got that.
If you do, we'll speak to you more.
This is his house. He is the main, so he need to control the situation.
Wow, man.
Put a man in control of me?
You are the man.
I'm okay. I'm alright.
Of this group.
Yo, it's getting spicy in here.
Submissive one.
I like.
You just gotta hop in. If you got something to say, just say it. Just gotta hop in there.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rebel. If you got something to say, but look, if somebody jumps in, I'm gonna try my best to try to bring everybody into the conversation. But look, it's the reality of a panel show like this. Some people are a bit more conversationally dominant. They're gonna have more input. Some people don't.
All right, I think I need to find another key.
Everybody's gonna get an equal amount of time here. But I'm gonna try my best to try to get everybody in it, and that's why we have.
At least that's what he keeps saying.
We're gonna get into soon.
So where's this other key?
Some other questions. So, yeah. Let's try to wrap up.
Oh wait, what is this?
Let's try to wrap up the long conversation that was being had. So what was your thing? And then.
Oh no, I'm done.
I don't even remember at this point.
Tell me about mansplaining and racism.
Mansplaining is
All
not
I said
sexist.
was that they're one and the same.
Because
Like
the
yes, one is
oppressor and
sexist and one is
oppressor
racist.
Wait. Okay, let me hear.
It's not sexist.
Let me hear your take.
Mansplaining is not sexist. That's just the end of the take.
Okay.
There's
Even
no.
men recognize that they can mansplain. I've seen.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm speaking
parody
logically.
videos
I'm
online.
speaking logically. Speaking logically has the
How about
same
this?
arrow.
But how about this? So, do you guys think but it's not just a man explaining something. It's like there's another component of it. The man is explaining it how? In a negative way? Like
No,
condescending.
not even condescending. He's just saying it as how every man would think.
Well, then we should start saying womplaining.
So woman.
Womplaining. I like that.
Women complaining.
I'm womplaining right now.
Women
My
complaining.
womplaining is the shit.
But so I guess my qualm with it is like you're attaching, so you're making it into a negative thing. Like, oh, mansplaining is a negative. Yes.
It's only looking at
it's a
one view.
positive thing?
It's only looking at
Ooh,
one
look,
view.
there's something up there.
So if you said that's the same thing as that's only looking at one view. You're only looking at the view of a man.
Which view?
If I say you're mansplaining, you're
Wait, hold on.
only
Let me
looking
ask
at
you a
it from
question.
the view of a man.
Let me ask you a question. 2 + 2 = 4. Is that mansplaining?
No.
But what if you disagree and I'm like,
Why would you
oh.
disagree? Now you're just stupid. Here's the difference.
Yes, you're just stupid.
Mansplaining.
But are you woman stupid if you disagree?
But no, listen.
Are you woman
When a
stupid?
man splains, when a man is
I thought you were going for answer.
when a man is mansplaining, he's only talking about what men think. He's not thinking about what a woman would think.
You are woman-splaining to me
Okay,
right now.
sure. Sure, because I'm thinking about how the men in the room aren't thinking from my perspective. They're only thinking from theirs.
I'm thinking about how the women are thinking, about how the men are thinking, and this is some like Inception woman-splaining.
Okay,
here.
so we both do it. I womsplain, right? Or woms complain.
You're
what is
a
it? And you mansplain. It's fine. Is there a problem to get offended by it? It seems like the issue.
Woman-nagging.
Okay, I'm woman-nagging. I'm woman-nagging, and I'm also
wait,
womanizing, baby.
Wait, that doesn't need to be gendered. That's just what y'all do to begin with. Woman-nagging, we don't need to specify. That's just like
exactly.
That's kind of your thing.
Yeah, and then when the guys are taking on the approach of a woman, then we can make it the mansplaining thing.
I think the problem.
Trying to explain
the
yourself.
problem is
Rebel,
like
tell us the
men are thirsty for a way to be the victim. I think that's what it is.
Thirsty to be the way the victim, or thirsty to be right?
Right, you thirsty
Well, men
to be
are
the
more
victim.
oppressed than women.
Like,
But hold on, hold on, bro. Yo, Rebel, hear me out. Rebel, hear me out.
Men are more oppressed.
So you said, check it out, Rebel. You said that there's the oppression dynamics when it came to the black-splaining thing, like white versus black, oppressor. Okay, but so in this thing, my position is men are more oppressed than women. So then I'm right to say that mansplaining, you women as the oppressor class, you guys are sexist by using the term mansplaining.
Okay,
but you're just saying that. That's not facts. It's known
It's
that.
facts.
That's
facts. That's facts. That's not facts. That's facts, right? But what are the facts? That's facts.
I'm definitely being sexist when I say that. You're
You are
mansplaining.
very sexist, by the way.
Good.
And what do you mean exactly by thirsty?
Like they be looking for a reason to complain sometimes.
But don't you think that the dominant societal narrative at the moment is that there is a patriarchy and that women get paid less and that women have been historically oppressed and they haven't had the right to vote and all of these sort of things? Don't you think they're kind of thirsty for oppression?
No. How are we thirsty for
Now you're
something we
offended
have
by
already?
But we would argue that men are actually more oppressed in society, and we can we can demonstrate that.
This doesn't sound very emotionally intelligent.
We could go.
Very what?
It sounds like we're hurting your feelings.
We could go disadvantage for disadvantage.
Hold on. one
I
second.
want to hear your point of view.
How exactly are my feelings hurt? Please let me know.
You just called it sexist.
Wait. Hold on. Stop. The question was to her. Go ahead.
Because then it turned into black-splaining, and we've been talking about mansplaining for about.
So why don't you get back to your claim that you just made? You said that you feel as though I'm not very emotionally. I'm not very emotionally intelligent.
I was kidding.
Okay. And back to the.
Wait, but what was your answer? You were speaking. You were telling us something.
I was, but then I was rudely interrupted
and I want to hear what you were saying.
by this comment over
by
here.
this woman nagger. Please.
I was woman niggled in my ear.
You were a woman niggled. Please explain what you were saying.
Anyways, where were we before?
I don't know what we was talking about at this point.
So I was saying that I think that we can actually back up, if we wanted to have the conversation, that there are actually more factors of oppression for men in society than women. However, the dominant societal narrative is of female oppression. So if that's the case, doesn't it seem like women are the ones who are trying to act like victims?
We can't act like something we've been.
How have you been a victim?
Been a victim. I mean,
not your victim blaming.
The things that you just said.
So you're not a victim?
I'm not a victim of what?
Speaking to your microphone.
I'm not a victim of what?
So you don't think you're a
black
victim?
woman?
No.
I think the fact
So you guys
that
disagree. You think you are a victim?
What are we a victim
I think
of?
women are general are more impressed than men. That's the point.
In what sense?
I think the fact that we can't go out for a walk at night.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
I walk at nighttime.
What woman is gonna come jump on you, Brian?
No, men.
While you're walking down the street.
That's y'all, though.
Who do you think gets
That's
murdered?
y'all. We're not attacking you guys like that on the street.
Who do you think gets murdered more, men or women?
By who though?
But it doesn't matter though. We're just talking about the rates of who gets killed more.
I mean, I would. Never mind.
Yeah, men are by far and away the victims of violence.
I have a
more than
question
women.
for you. So, like,
All right.
when it comes to
Wait, hold on.
do
I
you
didn't even
think
see this
that
one.
if
Oh wait,
you
that's
said
the same
something
one.
about, like,
the
the incidents of like violence or murder when it
What
comes
am I
to black
missing?
people,
There's a key
I would've
somewhere.
just dismissed this claim because I was like, well, who's doing that? If I just were to try to dismiss your claim, like, do you think that's fair, or should we like actually focus like, these are actual victims? Like, let's actually have a conversation about that.
Well, just because someone is getting murdered and killed, that doesn't mean that they're more oppressed than a different group. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because men have hardships, they have to go to war and stuff like that, that doesn't make them more oppressed. That's all I was saying.
Wait, so being forced to die in a war that you don't want to fight, that's not oppression?
I mean, not
I think
being able to work.
Right. Since when are you guys forced?
It's called conscription.
Military conscription.
The draft.
Well, now women are included.
When was the last draft?
Only did.
Oh, yeah, I'll answer it. So it was in Vietnam.
Okay, where are we at?
Yeah, well, let me ask you a question. No. Hold on. Yeah, that's totally fine. So let me ask you a question.
So you're oppressed in America,
hold on.
the last...
Wait. Hold on. I want everybody to be quiet while me and her have this exchange. Okay, so you're saying, you asked when was the last draft, right?
Okay, I meant here, not in a
No,
different
that's fine.
country.
No. But when was the last draft? So, and I said Vietnam, which was like late 1960s to the 70s, right? And that was, you think that's a long time ago. Doesn't really matter.
Were you alive?
Hold on. Doesn't really, and your position is, I just want to understand your position. It doesn't matter, or it's not a big deal.
Well, no. You brought up a draft, but I'm like...
When's the last? Sure.
Yeah,
And so
like,
I'll make a quick point. I'll make a quick point about the Vietnam War, and then I'll make my
I'm convinced some people are not capable
First
of
off, when it comes to
abstract thought.
Vietnam War, granted, yes, it was a long time ago. There are men who would still be alive today had they not been drafted.
Are you
There
sure?
Yeah, the math checks out. Let me have the exchange. Yes, I'm very sure. You do realize that there are Vietnam veterans who are still alive today? Are you sure?
Exactly.
Do you know when Vietnam was?
No.
Okay, so you're not sure.
just said, like,
So anyways, let me have the back and forth with her. So, and then there are men who did go to Vietnam, who did come back, who were drafted, who are maimed,
found it.
homeless because of they have mental illness. Many of them are drug addicted because they got addicted to drugs.
see if this works
coping
first.
with the
How do I get
either
down
physical
there?
pain or mental pain.
Can I jump down
from
and
the
not die?
Vietnam War. So you have that. Now, you said, well, it was a long time ago,
Okay, we'll
so
try
it
it.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Slavery
Oh,
was a
that
long
hurt.
time ago. Hold
doesn't matter.
on. Slavery happened even further back than the Vietnam War. Is it your position that because of how far back slavery occurred, that
Oh,
it doesn't matter, it doesn't
no.
have an impact on current black people?
So I didn't say it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you kind of.
Systemic
When was the
racism.
last draft?
It's written in the Constitution.
Hold on,
you said...
stop.
Oh my
Hold on,
God.
let
You're
her
bringing
talk.
up people dying in war.
How does he deal with
because
these
they were
people?
drafted because they had to go. We're talking about a war that they were drafted for years ago. Like, what are we talking about?
But we were presenting to you one of the metrics by which men face unfavorable outcomes or oppression in life, and you said
Okay,
your argument was, well, it happened so long ago. So
Are
you're
they
trying to
currently
dismiss it.
drafting people?
There's currently a selective service for men,
Okay.
yes, and we're closer to World War III than at any point in the past since the Cold War.
And you're trying to say that that's oppressing men?
Yes. Hold
But-
on. Wait, let me ask you. No, hold on.
They're
Let me ask you a
taking
question.
women in
Wait, hold
now.
on. Let me ask you a question. Stop. Let me ask you a question when it comes to the oppression of men. If the government told you, said, hey, we need to have more children, and the government forced you to have children, and you didn't want to, do you think that that's evidence of government oppression?
They're gonna force us to have sex.
To have children?
They're going to force you to have children. Whichever way you want to do it, you can
If
do
you
it
want
by
to do it
sex, or
consensually,
you can
but you
tell it
have
that
to
you
get pregnant.
We're overpopulated.
Oh, that's not a rebuttal to my argument. Let her answer. Would it be oppression?
Yes. And
Oh,
also,
so the government forcing men.
Incredible.
Herregud. Den är vackrare än jag kunde tro. Förvånansvärt tung.
What you got there?
This is the idol of Yaksha. I first found it described in a barely readable passage in a scroll found in Angkor Wat. The Khmer warriors who found the idol believed it was cursed, and so they buried it along with the demon. I didn't know if it was real, or just a legend.
Well, savor the feeling, kid. It was your thorough research that led us to it.
Tack, Professor. We should leave.
Yeah, well, you're young. You're still learning. Sure, kid. Looking forward to it.
Let's go, Professor. Here we go.
Here we go.
Really?
You think I don't know about the stones? Maybe if you'd realized my potential, remembered me even, I might have been working for you. Class dismissed, Professor Jones.
They
I
do.
mean, all the women here,
Where?
when we're, hold on, stop. All the women here, you guys can, you got somebody right here. Here's the different privilege that men have. The men in her country, she's Ukrainian. You know what she's been doing the past 3 years? She's been going on 100 dates with foreigners, American men. She's been dating American men while her countrymen are being fucking slaughtered. You want to talk about male privilege, female privilege? She's fucking in the club in Miami. She's in the, oh, you're rolling your fucking eyes. How is this not a bigger fucking
That's a
evidence
fake war.
of a differential between the privilege that women have versus the oppression that men have? Her countrymen, her men in her country are fucking dying. She's in the fucking club in Miami and you're rolling your fucking eyes about dead Ukrainian men. That's
oh my
disgusting.
God! Don't make it about that. But okay,
She's
so
rolling her eyes.
so
She's
the
literally
answer
rolling
to
her
this
eyes.
that would make it feel good is that both are equally suppressed. Correct?
No, they're not though, because there
They're
is no
not.
such thing as equal. If they're going and dying and she's in the club in Miami, she got it
But why are we
good.
just basing it off of her? Why are we just basing it off of her? There's
Okay.
how many women in the
Can I say
world?
something, man?
Go for it.
It's like if a guy was to shoot, if I was to shoot her and then shoot myself, and she's like, "You hurt me," and I say, "I'm hurt too." Who's hurt more? The one that got shot or the one that shot themselves?
Well, I'll tell you what would happen. You would go to prison for a lot less than a man who shot her.
Really?
Oh man!
Can we look up that statistic?
That's like that has
Wait,
nothing to do with
oh my God! Oh my God! Make a point.
I don't think so.
Okay, hold on, everybody quiet.
self-defense.
Hold on. Make a point. Go.
Like, you guys are just such victims.
Make a good point. Make a good point. Go.
You're such a victim.
Okay, no. So it's actually
That's
that
how I
wasn't
felt.
that
It was
wasn't that
self-defense.
actually
Oh,
wasn't
I'm
all
sorry.
that good a point. I'm shocked.
I'm
Anyway,
so
try and make a
sorry.
point.
I'm good.
Wait, can anybody in the chat find me
Because
this?
the men, they think
Hold on,
logically.
hold on. So can somebody in the chat find me? I just saw this yesterday. There's a news story. I believe it was in either New York or Florida. A female judge, released a woman who stabbed, murdered her boyfriend.
Self-defense.
Okay. Why do you assume that? Why do you assume that?
I was just kidding. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioned this. Jake was bringing this thing up that these women, they get less harsh sentences for certain crimes, etc. This woman murdered somebody, and she got released.
Well,
He was
men get
strong.
away with rape cases all the time. They
They don't get released if they're convicted, though. Yeah?
They most of the time they get
Well,
a little
the
a little
trial
pat
is
on the back
still
though.
pending.
But if you want to talk about like the legality argument, there is absolutely no doubt that women get treated a lot softer than men in the legal system for the same crimes. You can't deny that. Is that a privilege?
Yeah.
I guess yeah. Everybody has privilege though.
Yeah, because
every
somebody
class has
along the
privilege.
way, we decided that men are stronger and they
What do you
think
mean we decided?
they
They just are.
men are stronger. They think more logically. So why
Stronger
would a man who
Whoa,
thinks
that's
who's
really sexist
wait
towards
for
women.
So then why
no
don't-
listen
why would
for
you
a
let
man
women-
that's stronger and a man that thinks more logically, why would he just randomly kill a woman? A woman, she must have just went off her emotions
No,
and
that's
killed
not true.
this
Actually,
guy.
it doesn't. It's not about motive. It's not about
That's a
intent.
good point.
But also,
Can I
let me
get
ask you.
insight?
Let me ask you a question. If men are so much bigger and stronger and more logical, why do we let women vote?
Well,
They
you guys
fall
did
for
that
it.
first. You know, you had to fight for that one.
Can
I give an insight?
They let women. Oh no, go.
No, were you gonna say something?
You go for it.
Go ahead.
So just you brought up the legal system and everything. I just want everybody to know that the legal system for divorces are constantly changed, where usually the man is favored now. And so,
he's the breadwinner.
the woman will be treated
We'll
like
calculate
the
your
man
ambitions, get the better
from
of
like
you.
20 years ago or 30
What do you
years
mean?
ago.
How so?
Like just custody battles, things like that.
So the men
spousal
have men. It's
support.
equal, or men have advantage.
No, they have advantage today.
Are you the breadwinner? Like you got divorced, right?
I was not the breadwinner.
Are you paying? Wait,
Damn.
I can't get
whole
into
arm.
the details of it, but trust me, the guy gets more.
Luigi, lei è un dottore. Non quel tipo di dottore, idiota.
I wish I could just put up a brick and bust it in the ass. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, Negro. Wow, bow. Oh, you got a gun. Oh, you. Damn. Okay. Okay. My bad. My bad.
I'm just saying, like, in the scope of like the woman being judged for what they do. They're also like judged on how like they say like the mother is the mother, the child will always see the mother, this is not true in court. Like there have been times
so
when
you're upset that the preferential treatment that women used to get, now it's like they're looking at men and women equally. What's wrong with that?
No, they're not looking equally.
Oh, so now
they're
men
favoring
have
men
but
now.
it sounds, but you got, there's no child support, no alimony, 50-50 custody. I could understand your argument if your ex-husband got like a higher proportion of custody, but it's, unless you could present to me evidence.
At one point he did, and so that was stunning to me because I was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
But I can't get into the details of it.
Well,
I just
yeah.
can't. But trust me, the man gets more in legal system these days.
Well, I mean,
when it comes to family law.
I would love to get into that, but I do need to move things on a little bit. We have, guys, if you want, get a read and a TTS in. I'm about to go through about 6 different reads. So read is 100, TTS is 200. The TTS is, we tend to get to them, a little quicker. Like the video, guys. Also twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub if we have one. Can you get that pulled up? Guys, twitch.tv/whatever. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch. Quick, free, easy way to support the show every single month. And so thank you guys over there. We also have a Discord. Also, guys, if you want more of your contribution to go towards the podcast, you can go Venmo, Cash App, whatever pod. Yo, Curtis, thank you for the 50 on, I believe, 50 on Venmo. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Curtis, guys, W's in the chat for Curtis for the big 50. And then we have Nafia, Nafia, thank you for the 20 on Cash App. And then John, thank you for the 5 on Cash App. Guys, W's in the chat for Nafia, W's in the chat for John. Thank you guys so much for sending that in through Venmo and Cash App. And then we do have, let's get to the Streamlabs messages. We have this. The state of things. Yo, thank you so much, man. W's in the chat for him. Question, is submission unconditional or a conversation? So we can go around the table on this really quick if you guys can give quick answers. Is submission unconditional, or do you have to have a conversation, I guess, before you submit on a specific thing?
Conditional. If you're submissive without having conditions, you're just naive.
What do you want?
Right. But yeah,
Okay.
you said quick answers, right? Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Oh, conditional. Yeah.
Wait, submission is unconditional?
Oh no, it's no, it depends on the situation.
On the situation. So you, if I understand it correctly, for the both of you, In each situation, you might question the request or demand by your partner, and depending on how you feel about it, you'll choose to go along with it, submit, or not go along with it. Is that a fair representation of your position?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I don't understand the question. Sorry.
So submission. Do you know what it means to be submissive?
Yes.
So is submissive something that you would be without any questions, or do you need to have questions in the different situations?
No, of course, if it's different situations, I need the questions.
Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Conversational.
Has to be a conversation. Okay. What about
Conversation.
You? Conversation. What about you?
If I'm in a relationship with them, then no. It's
Not if you're in a
It's what?
If not if you're in a relationship.
Oh.
No,
well,
we're talking about in a relationship.
Yeah, it's
in a relationship. Yeah, if I trust them, I am submissive. Yes.
Okay. Into the mic.
I would say it is a conversation to have, because if you're just submitting to everything they say and because you deem yourself a submissive woman, that man who may not be a leader could lead you to fucking
take advantage of you.
You're gonna have to trust them, like she said, have that conversation, ask questions, because that is important to know that you're being led in the right path.
Okay. Sure. What about you?
Unconditional love.
What?
Unconditional. Sorry. What?
Unconditional love.
That was not the question.
Love. Okay. Well, I have a clip for you guys to react to that's related to this. Damien, can you get that pulled up? So you guys say you want leaders and dominant men, and you're gonna be submissive. Gotta watch this clip.
I got away with everything under the last boss, and it wasn't good for me at all. So I want guidance. I want leadership. But don't just like boss me around, you know? Like lead me when I'm in the mood to be led.
I love The Office. The Office is so good.
Right.
That's y'all. Lead me
when I'm in the
mood to be led, and I'm gonna question every single thing.
No
that
one
you
ever
do,
said question.
But I want you to be a leader. I want you to have a I want you to be a leader, but I'm giving you no authority.
I didn't say that at all.
You have authority. No, you have authority. It's just like
you were the only one who said unconditional. But yeah, well, so what that means though is, and this is the conversation that it comes back to with black and white submission. We've had this conversation with her before. Is she said that it's a spectrum. This is why it's actually not a spectrum. Because if we're in a relationship and there's one situation where you're like, actually, you know what? In this situation, I'm not going to be submissive. That just means that you're the boss. And what that means is that you get to decide when you're submissive and when you're not. So ultimately, that means...
Well, I want to reload, bro.
At any moment, you can say, not today, buddy. So actually, you're the boss. So that's why it's in black and white.
If y'all talked about it, then there should not be any other question on point. Like, okay,
why do I need to talk about it with you?
For example,
if you're submissive to me.
Here's my example. A lot of people here have been hurt. I can bet you that. Have been misled and put in a horrible situation.
Why can't I reload?
I can speak for myself. I've been submissive to a man that was only putting me in bad situations. So now I'm gonna ask
Holy
you, like,
shit, there's
what
no
is your
reload
intention
button.
with this before I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do it. If it's something simple like take your shoes off, sure, you got that. I'm gonna take my shoes off. You wanna see my feet?
Wait,
you got that.
You want to know something? You know when it's the most important to be submissive? When it's something big.
Of course, when it's something big, like, okay, we're about to go and, I don't know, rob this bank down here, and I need you to go to the left wing. I'm not going to ask, why do you need me to go to the left wing? I'm going to go to the left wing, and I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of.
I mean,
But,
okay.
But, if they're like, oh, I need you to, I don't want to take it there, but I need you to sell your body so that we can buy a house. Be for real. I'm supposed to follow you. I'm supposed to say, with no question, yes, I'm gonna go sell my body so that we could get a house together, Daddy.
Okay,
I'm so submissive to you.
So,
Be for real.
When we're talking about this, I don't think, like, you mentioned robbing a bank, criminality, that would be like your
son of a bitch.
In a virtuous manner.
But which man? Because there's so many different types of men. Even though you guys like to collectively gang up together, that doesn't mean that there's different types of men.
Basically, get on with a controller.
To some extreme, times. And obviously, within the context of the situation, within the context of the conversation, we're not talking about asking you to do absolutely heinous things like that. We're talking about within the boundaries of a normal relationship.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to ask their wife to go and sell their ass on the street, and nobody's going to ask.
Yeah, man,
their
I don't
wife to rob
know.
a bank. Although if you did do it, that's pretty basic.
Times
If
is
you did
hard.
to hide the body, to rob the bank.
Might need to sell some ass.
But nobody's going to really ask them to do that.
Yeah,
So-
and one thing on that.
So I've just
Hold on,
met
hold
multiple
on,
people
hold on,
like
hold
that.
on, hold on. So, like, if you were to ask men who want a kind of more traditional dynamic and they want their woman to be submissive to them and they want to lead, I can't imagine you could find any man who would be okay with the following scenario. So, I mean, taking your examples to even more extreme, what if your man tells you to go jump off a bridge and delete yourself?
I'm supposed to be submissive to him.
No. Any man who's in favor of a submissive dynamic is going to say, no, that is beyond the scope of what we're talking about here when women should be submissive.
So maybe that's the confusion between today's
But
man
you're trying to
and
use
a
an-
different man. No, because today's man will put you in the worst scenario
What kind
and
of
then
guys
expect
are
you to be
what
submissive.
kind of guys are you dating?
Okay, but
Have you
there's different
dated-
type of people in the world.
So just to be clear, you've dated multiple men that have tried to prostitute you? I would have no issue with you not being submissive to them then.
I would, okay.
In fact, you should break up with a guy who's trying to get you to become a prostitute.
And
That's
did.
not a man of virtue. But
how are you
you're
to
trying
determine
say-
that in
like,
the first 10 minutes?
But-
Because you said that we determined that in the first 10 minutes that
I
we're
didn't
going to
say
fuck
that.
with this guy or not. And then also, if you just walked into the house and someone says, take your shoes off, just walked into the house, and they say, take your shoes off, and you don't ask why, isn't that the same thing as if you were with a man that had horrible fucking thought processes and thought like, oh yeah, like the only way for us to get money is if my girl goes out and fucking tricks niggas, right? So you have to be.
You just like speaking, don't you?
No, but I'm making a point and you're trying to dismiss it.
That's actually
Nah,
yeah. Okay.
I'm
Make
with
the point.
you.
Make the point.
Yeah,
I feel you.
mean, look.
You have to be cautious in this day and age. That's all I'm saying.
I think the conditions aren't based on what they're
These girls
asking,
are crazy,
it's
bro.
based on how dominant are you? How dominant? Like, if I have to pay my own things, if I'm taking you out, I'm not gonna be submissive. But if you're paying my bills and you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, you're gonna get
Anything
blind
you want.
submission. How dominant are you? It depends on how submissive you are. Are you gonna take me out and make me dates, or do I have to ask you to take me out and take me on dates? That depends.
So,
That's what it really based on.
You decide.
Right. It's
Exactly. So you're the boss.
No.
Because if he's not dominant enough,
It's
then
about
you'll
picking
then
the
you'll
right
decide whether
partner.
you're submissive.
Don't
or not.
women have more options?
What do you mean in terms
Don't
of
women have more options than
in terms
men?
of sex? Yes, but no, dating, no. That's not true.
So
Men have
when you're
more.
Yeah, 'cause
dominant,
the man
does
gets to
dominant
choose.
means 24/7 dominance? Like
What?
complete dominance, the way submission is black and white, right?
Yeah.
So you're dominant.
Bro, get you some sleep if you need to.
Go as I say. I'm gonna take care of you. Do what I say. You know what I'm saying? And the submission is black and white, like either yes, master. It's,
What?
No, there's no scale in it. That's what y'all saying. It's either,
Ain't nobody trying to.
If your boyfriend or husband
Ain't nobody
is
saying
asking
that.
something that contravenes your moral
Wait, why can't I open
code,
this?
in this case
No?
prostitution or self-harm,
And something that's it's
then like one, that should be the end of the relationship, and two, no, you shouldn't do it. But when we're talking about submission,
Oh, shit.
typically we're talking about
Oh shit! It's about to go down, boys. Pow! In the face. Pow! 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 They down.
decisions about the children.
Boy, you wasn't ready for this.
And we can't really have. We can't really have. We can't really have. Hold on a second. We
My
can't really
six
have a
shooter is
conversation
nasty.
as well. If every time we want to have a generalized conversation, it gets taken all the way to the extreme. It's like
What? How?
Is it because
Nobody's
there's
asking
nothing
anybody to jump off a
generalized
bridge.
about it? There's so many different type of people.
I guess yeah, that happens all the time then.
Yeah, nobody's asking anybody to jump off a bridge. I'm not gonna say no based off what you're asking me, but I might question you based off what you're doing for me and how is your life. If
Not
you're-
even for me,
But it also
but just
comes down-
in general for us. Are you
For
doing
us,
anything beneficial?
Right? Are you a good person?
It also
Are you
comes back to
successful
the,
in your own
the
life?
person that you pick as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying. It's
we-
about
when
picking
it-
the
when
right
it-
partner
When it
to be
comes to submission,
submission.
though, if you say, "Oh well," he
All
wanted
these
to do
people are
this,"
crazy, if you ask me.
kind of the buck stops with you because you chose a guy who would choose to
but if
prostitute
you
you.
said that
If
you
you have
wouldn't,
such
then
a
you're not
poor,
submissive.
You have to act like this or you're not a real person. Oh my god.
You like were to choose someone like that.
Me be mad.
then kind of falls on you, right?
Right. I don't think you have to.
Pow!
but choose to
Pop!
be submissive.
Oh shit! I need more bullets.
That's what it is. It's like, I'm not gonna be submissive today. No, I'm not gonna be submissive to you because you're not shit.
Submissive is these
But
nuts,
it
bitch.
depends on who it is.
Pop! No!
Right. If you gotta pick the right. Everybody gotta pick the right.
Are you kidding me?
I do have to move things on though a little bit here. We have another chat.
This is
We have a
pissing me
chat
off.
here from Lucas. You know what, Rebel? You get to read these.
Okay.
Lucas, thank you, man.
It says, for the love of God, can we once for all expunge the woman needs talking point for today's societal discourse? Stop imputing your emotional hardwiring. They're just saying stuff. Men are wired to be stoic.
There's another one coming in.
Okay. Men process and express emotions very differently. For this matter, in our society,
Damn, my boy spent $200 on this message. Yeah, how do I start a podcast where people spend $200?
You want to
So he's saying,
in touch with their emotions.
he's saying men are meant to be stoic and emotionless.
You want
Guess
a man?
what? He's
You
in
want a
jail.
man?
Let her read.
You want a man that's in touch with your emotions? He's in jail. That's what he
Guess
said. That
what?
was the
He's in
last.
jail. Yeah.
That's what he said.
That was yeah.
That's a really good
crazy.
point. Really good point.
Yeah, W's
because
in
that's
chat
what
for
men who are
Lucas.
controlled by their emotions. They're generally going to be much more disposed to things like being in jail. Because if you're a guy who's controlled by emotions and you react with anger or whatever else, you're going to be
That's
much
lack of
more likely to be in
self-control.
prison.
That's self-control. That's not. You
And
can
what-
be in touch with your emotions with
Self-control of what, woman?
Say that again.
You can be in touch with your emotions and have self-control at the same time.
Yeah, but
That's-
we're saying somebody who has a lack of emotional control.
I thought it was saying
Who wanted to
someone
be that?
I thought it was saying men who
Oh my
are
God.
emotional are in jail. That's what I thought it was
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. Would you say that men who, like, for example, commit crimes are more or less likely to be able to control their emotions?
Less, but they
Yeah.
might also
So that's
just
the
be
point that he's making.
not smart. It doesn't-
Poontang.
such a
All right.
nuance.
All right. I have another one for you to read it.
Let me
Rebel.
read. Behold the where is that?
Amalgam.
Amalgam of woke and inane female solipsism.
Solipsism.
Oh my God, this bitch can't read
And
either.
we wonder why marriage
sorry.
first birth rates have collapsed. More red flags up in this piece.
I apologize.
CPP
That's not her fault.
parade.
I
By
blame
the
her
way,
parents.
father-in-law was drafted. Your father-in-law
Still
was
alive.
drafted.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Lucas's father-in-law was, I assume, drafted for Vietnam. Still alive. Maybe. I mean, could have been Korea or something. I think there's still a couple World War II vets.
All right, this is bullshit. Can I shoot with the mouse?
In Israel, it's mandatory men and women to serve.
Can I just like pop a motherfucker like that? Then reload?
Like, it's far outweighs.
Oh hell yeah!
So women generally tend to do.
Oh wait. No! I was playing. Oh, get bent.
Death rate.
Get bent, bitch.
Yeah, I know that.
Where's your buddy at? I know you down here somewhere.
The number of women that are in
Shut up.
I think it's something
Punk
like
ass
45%
nigga.
of the IDF
Sorry.
are women. And
I'm
then
sorry.
if you look at the
I didn't mean
death
that.
rate, it's like 1% or something of women.
Yeah, because depends on your position. Not many
exactly, so women do support
yeah,
roles?
but women still do men's position in the Israeli IDF.
Yeah, like occasionally they do, but the numbers in terms of deaths don't reflect that women are like overrepresented or even equally represented.
Shut up.
Normally.
Shut
the
up.
women who go
Shut
to
up.
the next one.
Oh my God.
It's equal in Israel. The same amount of men that serve 3 years, the same amount.
How is he not dead, bro?
But you know
mandatory.
but you know what a support role is, though, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you got a support role, and you
Ah!
who are in combat roles.
There is
There's far
many
less
women.
I got 3 bullets left.
in combat roles.
Many women in
You got the
combat.
stats, Damien?
It's ChatGPT. You can see.
Libertariat donated $200. The reason men who are ruled by their emotions.
Alright, I got 2 bullets left and 2 people. Can we make this count?
Considered crazy. Men that lash out and hit women get arrested.
Where'd he go? No way, dude.
There's definitely differentials when it comes to like DV2. In fact, like a woman could be the aggressor, and then the cops come and they got to arrest somebody. And oftentimes, because of the bias in policing, I think it's called the Duluth model. Have you heard about that? The Duluth model. I think that's what it's called. Might have my wires crossed. They got to arrest somebody, and overwhelmingly, it's going to be the man, even if he's not the aggressor. Wait, what? He's mad. Wait, still mad or still a man?
Well, men earned that law.
Earned?
I mean, it
Earned
seems
it?
like there's
Wait.
a reason for it.
So just to be
so-
clear, your position on this is that the man is not the aggressor in the domestic violence
Maybe.
situation. And then
Men are mostly the aggressor, so it's assumed.
No,
that
not even no,
Actually,
because I definitely
Let them have the
had
conversation.
men.
Can you?
Didn't I start? Didn't I
she
start
was
it?
told they were talking.
Yeah,
so
but
you
now is you gotta let people talk. So
Ooh.
I mean, actually, if you look at, for example, one-directional violence, so it's like, it's not, so there's mutual domestic violence situations where they're both kind of like beating up on each other. But if you look at one-directional, it's like overwhelmingly, I think it's 70% of women are one-directionally physically abusive towards their partners. So in those sort of situations, if the cops get called, there's like a high chance that he could still end up going to jail even if he didn't put a hand on her. But I'm a little confused. You said, well, men earned that. So like, how about like just a random guy who's never done anything wrong, never laid a hand on a woman, and his girlfriend's like smacking him around, like actually hurting him? You think he earned going to jail when he's the victim?
No, I would expect police to do their job. Unfortunately, a lot of the times that's not the case. But in that sense, it's not like they should have investigated that. They should have talked to each person and figured out,
Yeah, but what if it's like just a he said, she said, and then there's like a policy in the police department that says, well, whoever's like the larger individual, or in some cases, this is the man, they're going to get arrested.
But
And
there's
that's
always the
fault in
person.
the law.
There's always the person that you could tell is more angry when you get there. Arrest them.
Wow.
To even get to that subject.
That's stupid. That is stupid. Angry does not make you
Thank you for
guilty.
the TTS, though. I do appreciate it. Lucas, thank you for those couple messages there. Do appreciate it. We have actually here saying, go ahead, Rebel, if you can read this one.
Okay. If the woman was discovered to have a postpartum depression, she could get off with less prison time or possibly entirely. There is no postpartum for males. Just insanity, please.
And then there was that whole like battered wife syndrome, which was used as a defense. Like women used it as a defense to get off of, like when they murdered or something, like murdered their husbands.
This is a big problem in Australia. The numbers actually don't bear out that there's a big domestic violence problem in Australia. But there's this massive media campaign done by like feminists that will basically act like men are so terrible. And you can watch the ads. It's absolutely shocking the way that they depict men. And there's all these laws now that have come in because of the pressure where women can basically just go into a police station and just have the man not be able to see their kids and have the man just have this restraining order. So it's a big problem.
I heard something similar in Spain, which is super feminist, where like there's actually financial incentive to make a report of like either domestic violence or like some sort of SA type of situation. And the women will just automatically, they actually get like some financial assistance. And look, I mean, on one hand, like if these are terrible crimes, and I think these, in that situation, there should be some sort of assistance to victims of crimes. But what they found is it's actually been incentivizing women to report domestic violence or other kinds of crimes that just never occurred whatsoever because of the amount of assistance that they're able to receive in Spain. So I don't know if there's any Spanish viewers or anything that can like weigh in on that, but a lot of crazy feminism in Spain. I do have to get to the next super chat though. We have the state of things, and y'all, academic women made up mansplaining sucks to suck, says the state of things. Academic women. Any PhDs in here? What's up? Did you have something?
Who came up with the idea that women were crazy? Women or men? Did you put yourself in that space? Did you?
I don't even know what you're asking right now.
Oh, if I wanted to backtrack just a tad bit, just right before this next super chat, I was talking, where we were all talking about how, men get off easier, right? Because a man thinks logically.
No, we were talking about how women get off easier.
Right, women get off easier because a man thinks logically, so he would obviously not like mix his hormones into doing something stupid to a woman, like beating her up.
Yeah, what's your point?
My point is, who said that a woman was crazy? A woman or a man?
Did I make that claim tonight?
I didn't say that you made that claim, but
who makes that claim? I'm not interested in defending the claim.
Actually,
I didn't
make. It was one of the chats. They said women were deemed crazy if they hit a man, and men if they hit the woman goes straight to jail.
Oh yeah, they're
instead
saying
of-
that women get like let off. Oh, the woman, she's just like a little
But
crazy.
who said that the woman was crazy?
The super chatter.
But
What's your point?
But who in the big spectrum of things? Who said that the woman was crazy?
The individual super chatter. It could be a woman. How do you know it's not a woman?
I'm not saying about
What's
the
your-
one super.
what's-
There's a
I-
whole thing about how women are crazy and they only act on emotion.
Yeah, I'm
Who
not-
came up with that?
I mean, you're trying to forward a premise that I don't even agree with, and I'm not interested.
Okay, we can move on. It's fine. It's
Do you
fine.
do you think that? Do you think all women are crazy? I don't think that.
No, I don't think that.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
I'm not-
actually, no, I don't think that.
I mean, but like, why are you forwarding a position that wasn't stated by any of the panelists or?
I apologize. You got that, but that's definitely something I've heard before. Is that all women are crazy or women are too hormonal and they act solely off their emotions, which might be true.
Well, I'm just curious. We can explore it though. You've dated women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, and it could be the case that you've dated some crazy men, whatever.
I wouldn't call them crazy. I
Well,
I
I don't know.
actually have fucked with more crazier men than
Sure.
I have crazier women.
Sure. But like in your own experience, have you noticed any differences between men and women when it comes to their behavior?
When it comes to a woman, when I was dating a woman, she wouldn't call me crazy. She wouldn't go out her way to make me feel like I wasn't making a logical, explanation. But when a man was talking to me, like, oh, you're just talking about your emotions. You're just trying to make it seem like, oh, this is okay because you're on your period, or oh, you have so many hormones, like obviously you would talk to me crazy, because it's just not logical.
Gaslighting.
It's just like that's obviously a woman
Gaslighting?
didn't make up that a woman was crazy because of their hormones. But you're saying that that's like, oh, that, well, not you because you didn't say that, but they're just trying to make that seem like that's like normal. And I know for a fact that a woman didn't say, oh, well, bitches are crazy because they have a hormones.
Bitches are
So you're
crazy.
saying men say that?
Yes.
Okay.
So now, if I track that forward and I say,
Okay, we can do
well,
this.
Women get let off easier because they have so many hormones and they act off their emotions, and that's why we're giving them a break on the legal side. But in
Oops.
reality, a woman didn't say
I thought-
that. A man said
what is
that,
the- I don't
and
even know what the
that's why
legal button
They're
is.
getting let off easier than a man when it comes to it, because a man only thinks logically. A man only thinks logically, and he doesn't do anything off of emotion. Do you hear me or no?
Yeah, can you make an actual argument though? Because
That was an argument, and
you just repeating what the super chat said. What's
no,
your
I'm not.
argument?
If you read the super chat, that's not what he said.
So here, in like 3 sentences, what is your position?
She's just saying that bitches are crazy.
My position is that a man came up with the fact that a woman is crazy, and now they're mad that they get put in jail more recently than a woman.
What?
Oh.
Because only thing a man can do is plead insanity, correct?
What the fuck?
Yes or no? He can say, "Oh, I went insane," but a woman, she has her hormones.
You
her
saying women we get let off because we're emotional?
Exactly, but who said that we were emotional?
Okay, that's the point. Okay, that's
just not the case,
something
though.
about-
Women don't get let off because they're emotional. They get let off because they're women.
I think we get let off because men hit harder. If a man hit a woman,
But the thing
he
is,
might kill her.
if you guys both put a gun to a man's head, smoked him, if you did that, you'd get a lesser sentence. And you know why? It's not because, oh, she might have been a bit emotional. It's because
I need
she
to see the
is a woman.
statistic on this.
But who came up with that?
What? Who came up with what?
That the woman was more emotional, and that's why she did it. Because
Here we have a chat. We have a
Rachel's
chat.
actually about to prove it to
What?
me.
Women have much higher rates of
Wait, where's my gun?
psychiatric illness
Bro, I just had a gun.
than men. 25%
Oh, I hate
of
this.
American women are on at least one prescription
I'm gonna die
psych
here, ain't I?
medication. Also,
What?
Rachel, isn't it the case that when it comes to trait neuroticism, women rank higher in trait neuroticism as compared to men, which
No way.
it is what it is, you know? Okay, all right. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate that. We have a question. Rebel, can you read this one?
Would it be strange or crazy if a woman has fantasies of having a husband and she wants to dress like Ellen DeGeneres sometimes and have lesbian experiences with women? It's a good question. Say, is it crazy if a woman wants to have is bisexual, basically. Is
I don't
imagines
think it's
having a
crazy.
husband but wants to be gay
Because,
sometimes.
oh no, I want to eat pussy, and also I like to get penetrated.
Right.
Oh no.
Ain't nothing wrong with having it all. Nothing wrong with that.
Uh
It's
oh,
not
I'm
crazy.
fucking greedy. Get it.
And I guess last thing on, like going back to her point, you've dated women and,
Yeah.
and men.
Yeah.
I mean, have you noticed any differences in terms of? Because I mean, didn't you say like you're over dating women, right?
Yeah, I'm over that right now.
Why?
But it's definitely some differences. I kind of made a couple TikToks about that. That got a lot of views. Like when men lie, they will keep lying to you, to your face. But if they get caught in a lie, they're gonna keep adding on to the lie. But if women lie, they're gonna either cry or straight up ignore it. Like there's certain nuances with differences and stuff like that. I feel like
What?
I don't think it's crazy. To
Definitely
want
dead.
both or
Come
do
on.
Both. I feel like
No way, bro.
it's kind of a touchy feeling. I feel like all of us should be free and unlimited to do what we want. There's huge differences. There's huge differences, and then we should be able to explore whatever. Because
Everybody was non-monogamous.
Wait, so it shoots his helmet off, and they're not dead.
Just say we have one country, we'll call it Gangbangland, right? Shout out to Andrew Wilson. And another country, which is just, we'll say America, or monogamy land, okay? And in Gangbangland, everyone's just doing gangbangs. And in monogamy land, they're all just having families.
I don't think, because I feel like we need a little bit of everything. So I don't think too much everybody being monogamous or everybody being polyamorous would be good. I don't feel like too
So
much
in
polyamory
this
would be
situation,
good.
it's like all or nothing. One of them is just pure monogamy, no cheating, nothing, just nuclear families. And one of them, everyone is having sex with everyone all the time. Which one's better?
Monogamy.
I guess monogamy would be better, just for safety.
Right.
Only because polyamorous would be cool, but not everybody is gonna be safe and smart about it.
And do you think that in Gangbangland there'd be a lot of unplanned pregnancies, and there'd be a lot of STDs, and there'd be a lot of children raised by single mothers, for example? Whereas in monogamy, yep, we pretty much live in Gangbangland. We're here in California right now.
Right.
But do you think that's a reflection of why those standards are actually put at the forefront of? We should be putting those standards at the forefront, which is having a monogamous family.
We shouldn't be putting that at the forefront. I feel like you should be doing whatever it is for you. I feel like monogamous is good for certain people.
But tell me why we need it though. Why we actually need polyamory.
I think it's just to keep everybody safe and respectful.
Ain't no way he hit me. Bitch ass motherfucker.
Make sure that they feel
These
special
motherfuckers
and
got
they're respected
immaculate
and
aiming.
Say whatever they want. You wanna
Definitely not
respect their
Starship
boundaries,
Troopers.
I mean, if it's safety that you want, then in monogamy land, you couldn't need.
How's he not dead? He got hit 3 times. I get hit once and I died.
Yeah.
Why?
We need polyamory because
I hate this gun.
We need options. How are we gonna have more experiences to pass down to our kids and give our kids advice of something
So
we've never
you mean
done?
sexual experiences to pass down to your kids?
It's like, how are we gonna teach? Like, okay, look, I feel like every mom has a conversation with their daughter about their punani, right?
What?
How is their moms gonna have their experiences on what to do to take care of that punani unless they was out there and having a little fun and having different partners?
So let me just clarify your argument.
that monogamous
Hold on
or
a second.
just
Let me
aging?
hold on. Let me just clarify your argument. Is that a mother can't teach their child about the intricacies of the punani if they've only ever had sex with one man? They
No,
need to have more
can't.
than one penis.
I can't, but your child was going to be more prepared if you have more experience.
So a
yes.
woman who married her childhood sweetheart
Mhm.
and has had sex with him and has had multiple children, she's incapable of telling her daughter about how to handle her vagina.
Not incapable, she just might be less knowledgeable.
Tell me exactly what the factors are when you've taken multiple penises as opposed to just one. What are the factors that will increase your sort of
Well, first of all,
understanding of punani?
every man has their own chemical balance. So,
What does that mean?
different men affect your punani differently. You know what I'm saying? And if you're messing with multiple guys at one time, that might affect you differently.
So what you're saying is that if what you're saying though is that if you don't have sex with multiple men, then you won't get different infections.
If that man is being faithful to you and you're being faithful to them, you're probably not gonna get any affection.
So then could it in monogamy land, for example, if the mother taught her daughter to only have sex with one man, and then she did the same thing, she would never have to worry about infections from different men.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not realistic. So that's why we need a little bit of everything, because
once
not
upon a
everybody
time,
is going to be monogamous.
That actually was the case, and in most of the developed world, not most of the developed world, but in most of the world throughout history, that was the standard. And especially throughout Christian Europe, for example, and in Muslim countries, normally in these religious countries, you get one partner. And even in India and the more sort of like religious parts of India, they have arranged marriages from a young age. So
Judaism
this is
have
actually
that too.
this is actually they do that in Israel. They encourage that sort of thing, or they're a bit degenerate in
My
Israel
concern
these
is
days.
that monogamy is on one side a lot of the time.
It actually worked for many years, the monogamy and the fixing kind of arrangement.
Are the men being faithful too?
And it worked for many years.
I got a question for you. So you have a roster right now?
Yeah.
How big is the roster?
Like 3.
3 guys?
Yeah.
Any
3.
girls or no?
No, I'm talking to one girl right now too. I'm not gonna. I said I was completely done with women. That's a lie. That was a lie.
There's still,
But
okay. But
I
right now you
got
3.
a little shorty, and then I got 2 guys.
And
to
are
talk
you
to.
like hooking up with all of them?
No.
One of them, 2 of them, 3 of them.
One of them.
One of them.
Mhm.
And the others are for what?
Just for fun. Just for fun.
Sexual
Going
fun?
on dates.
Sex?
Just dates. You want to go out. You want to have somebody, because some people are good for business and some people are good to party with.
Who else here has a roster? Roster.
I'm talking to 5 guys, but I don't date them.
That's
like no intimacy.
That's a roster.
When you say talking to them, but like, have you been on multiple dates?
No.
Oh, you're talking. Okay. What about you, roster? Callie?
I'm
Callie
talking to
Kush?
one person.
How much you got? Into the mic.
I'm talking to one person.
Just one person? Okay.
Yeah.
One person?
No.
Okay. Here, I have a chat coming through, then we're going to get into the next thing. Yo, Kat, thank you.
Scatso donated $200. As a representative of the woman community,
She is
I
a woman.
can confirm that women are crazy.
She confirms that women are crazy.
It's both, though.
I don't know. I've also heard from women who are like, I don't like being friends with women. Like, they're straight, but they're like, I don't even like being friends with women. They're like, I'm just having guy
There's no way they can hit me from here, right?
chill. I don't know. So.
I like that.
Why do you only load 1 bullet? I got 1 bullet in the chamber again.
I've experienced, like, if there's a girl.
And I missed.
Are you trying to fucking...
I feel like you gotta maybe... I think we gotta cut you off. No, you can talk, but like...
We have to cut you off at the bar.
You're already kind of exuberant.
I'm not drunk.
Sober, but like, I feel like if you start drinking more, it's gonna be crazy.
Seltzer is gonna
You're like, you know... Alright, go ahead with your point. But
Guy friends is good.
Anyways, I've had friends that have guy friends, and other guys that have friends,
No way, he's not dead. I hit him in the head. This is annoying. This is really annoying.
and like I think that's
Shoot them in the head and they don't die.
But at the same time, it's like
In the head.
why can't you get any friends out of girls?
All right.
Because girls, once you have a girl pack that really hits this
In the head.
like that hits so crazy. Like it's not that we're just looking
Okay,
for
reload.
no solutions or like.
Yeah, but the problem is you all secretly hate each other. That's
Not true. I have 4 girlfriends that I definitely 100% have no hate for in my heart.
You absolutely hate them, and you would hate to see them happy.
Not a single part of me. Not a single part of me. I'm
Reload the gun, bro.
praying for their happiness every
Stop
single day.
doing. How do you
Just 'cause
how do you
my
reload this gun?
man thinks That does not mean that that's me.
Why
Holy
would you
shit.
say that?
Because me, honestly, I have multiple girlfriends that
Okay,
100%
come on.
do their own thing, and I'm like,
We can do
is
this.
a bad
We
guy,
can do
don't
this.
like him. But if you're doing your own
Pop
thing,
him in the head. Look, he has a
why
straw helmet on,
Why Jake said it? Because we've all like even been in
and he doesn't. Oh my fucking god! This game is so dumb.
Who they're friends with come up and, you know, like, let's say you're hanging out, this friend comes up, oh my god,
This
it's
game
so
is
good
retarded.
to see you, big hug, how you doing? Oh, you look fantastic, you're so great, blah blah blah. Then she walks away. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, bitches be
Fucking
fake.
hate her, bro.
Bitches be fake, but that's
And it's so
that's
like,
not me.
I'm just saying.
Santa Barbara.
How long's this friendship been going for?
Altogether, I think we've been friends for about 3.5 years.
not really much
And I
time
have
to
never
form a
had
friendship.
a single ounce of hate for any of those girls.
Yeah, you've never had a time that one of them's not
have-
around and you're just a bit like,
I have one friend
Jenny over here.
that I've been friends with for 7, maybe 8 years, and I've never felt an ill will towards her. Never in my life.
No one's ever bitched behind anyone's back.
Nope, never in my
She's
whole
lying. That
entire
bitch
life.
lying.
I think on something.
No, we were talking about if women are crazy.
Bro,
My experience
these helmets are crazy.
friends is that some of them turn out
The fuck are they made out of?
the person, so it's hard to have a friendship.
All right. Rebel, can you read this one, please?
Question from our wife. Your husband is an NYC Big Live partner.
How am I not?
7 figs, 6'4", prides himself on impeccable virtue, honor, integrity, and competence. Should I submit to him with no questions asked?
So, the husband, lawyer, New York City, big law partner, 7 figures, 6'4", in good shape.
Bro!
Virtue, honor, integrity, and competence. Should you submit to him, no questions asked? Go ahead.
I could have swore I had bullets in this guy. Maybe I'm not paying attention. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck it.
Give him my number.
Wait.
No way! Bitch.
Go ahead, say it again a little louder.
Yes, be submissive, please do.
Okay. There can only be one. That is me. Oh, you. Die!
Oh, gasket.
Not dead! Not dead!
I don't know what to say. Everybody's
This is too annoying to me.
From the situation. If a man is rich and beautiful, it doesn't mean that I'm accept everything.
So no is the
But
answer.
Okay. No.
I give up. I give up.
All right,
This is
wasn't
pissing me off.
All right, go ahead.
I love it. Professional, yes.
Okay.
She started off with it's her husband, so yes.
Okay.
I would say no, there's still questions, because at the same time, if he makes all this money, are you still
All right.
going 50-50? If
No,
he's
not going
fit,
We're not
and
doing this.
he's-
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do something else. We can't outshoot them.
And if he's fit, is he encouraging you to be fit as well, or is he encouraging
He's a chubby
you
chaser.
to...
You can stay fat.
Good.
But still questions. I still have questions. I can't
love
say
it.
yes,
He's a feeder.
fully
He's actually a feeder.
Please feed me. I would like to lay on the floor
He's
and
actually
say
a
how much I
feeder,
love you while you give me
and
my
he-
fucking
he's-
lobster tail.
he's-
I want to
you've
be
gained-
motivated.
What happened to the
gained
rest of the
100
body?
pounds since you started dating.
I have
Are you
questions.
trying to
Why
mobilize
did he?
me?
Why
Here's
did
some
he allow me to
fucking
gain that weight?
cakes, babe. Here's some donuts. He's a feeder.
No.
Nope. Okay. What about you? I'm kidding about the feeder thing. Go ahead.
I'm getting sidetracked. Can you repeat the question?
No, it's okay. We'll just move on. So, anyways, we have Gorlock,
submissive,
the destroyer. Ask everyone to rate their own looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with. We'll start with you. Go ahead, Rebel.
Start with me.
So
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Just before we start with somebody,
Looks just.
who's a
anyway.
10?
What
No.
the fuck,
Yeah.
bro?
What are
You said
bro,
rate yourself.
Don't.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait. So, okay, we'll start over here then. Go ahead.
My name means beautiful.
And that's
My
okay.
name means beautiful
Cool
flower.
story, cool story, bro. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rank your own looks?
10.
Oh, okay. Thank you for. Yeah, thanks.
10s across the board, all the way. 10, 10, 10.
Okay.
Give me my 10s.
10.
10 plus.
I'm only going to say 9
Mm-hmm.
because there's always something I could do a little bit
You're
better.
right. There's always room for improvement.
9.5.
Okay.
10.
Wait. So sorry. One more time.
10.
Okay.
9.
What?
I say 8, but what I bring to the table, I'm 10.
What? Okay,
Say
but
8.
looks.
But like if we
wise,
just
8.
going at looks, I say 8.
Yeah, Jake, what do you rate yourself?
I'm an adjustable 6.
I give myself a 5.
Only a 6?
Wow, chat. I just want to say, this is by their own rating the most beautiful panel we have ever had. I'm an expert. I only bring on the most beautiful women. 10, 10, 10, 10, 9.5.
I don't know what to do here.
It's 10s all around.
9, 8.
Congratulations, Brian.
I
That's
did really good
impressive.
today,
Yeah.
Jake.
Considering you had flakes, but you still managed to get a whole entire panel of women who are among the most beautiful women that have ever existed on planet Earth.
They are among the most beautiful.
They are
really
bad.
disagree.
They are baddies.
And you know,
They are not.
This is no, but I'm not even exaggerating. Like you're at least going off of your guys' ratings. This is the hottest panel
Thank you
we
so
have
much.
ever had. I
appreciate that.
No, but really, today's really beautiful girls.
I'm not worthy.
Oh yeah.
I am
What
not
the
worthy to be in the presence of these.
Can you
Bro!
5 and 6 is crazy though.
I was nervous.
Can you explain your
What's the
sex?
5 talking to us?
We'll get to it.
I was nervous at the start, but now I'm like really nervous to be. I can't even look at them.
I've never played a game so retarded.
I can't look at them.
Where you have the advantage height-wise.
I can't look at you guys. You're too beautiful.
I'm nervous.
It's like looking at the sun.
I'm nervous.
At least a 7.5.
Wait, so here's what we're gonna do. You guys get to rate us. So, yeah. Don't worry, me and Jake are professionals. We will not be hurt.
Are you gonna rate us back?
No. Unless you say you want me to, I will not rate you back. We won't rate you back. I just want you guys to rate us. We want you to be honest. You don't have to gas us up. We're big boys. We're not gonna be. If you think I'm a 3, I'm not gonna be upset.
This game is
Does
ridiculous.
this include your personality?
No, physical.
Just look.
Just
Trash. I'm gonna give you a 2.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
All right, go ahead.
7 and 9.
7 and 9. Oh, Jake. Oh, hey.
7.
Hey, well, it's just like his personality. It kind of like a 7 too. But if we just doing
Yeah,
looks.
2 points up.
Wait, how tall are you?
6 foot.
8.
What? 8?
Wait,
You went
is he,
down?
Is he too short or too tall?
Too short. If he was over 6 feet, then it would have
Oh.
been. When I said 9, I said 9, right?
manlet.
I said
6 foot is a
9,
short
right?
You
king.
fucking
I said 9.
short.
I'm basically.
No, I said 9. If he was
I'm
like,
basically a hobbit.
I said
so-
9 at first, right?
Like a
But if he
dwarf.
was like, cause 6 feet, like,
This is like Lord
if
of
you're
the Rings
standing
over
next
here.
to a pretty tall woman, that's
Shia.
kind of short. Like, if we got on some heels, if you're a 5'7" woman, and you
Prattle.
got on some heels,
I'm
you're gonna be
4'11",
like, right
so-
them- you're gonna be eye and eye with me. That's all. That's the only
always
reason.
looking
though.
All
straight at
right,
the
that's
belly
fair.
button.
All right.
Give me a rating. Give Jake a rating.
7 and 9.
Wow, Jake. All right, go ahead.
7, 8.
Wait,
8.
7, 8. Okay.
You. I'm gonna go ahead and say. I'll give you a 7. I'll take that. If we go to in and out after, I'll give you 7.5. And then for you, I would definitely give you like a 9. Yeah. It's because we have matching rings.
7 and 9.
Bro, one girl says something and then they just repeat it. Like, okay,
Right.
I wasn't trying to repeat it. That was my.
I wanna
this
say-
is the socially accepted answer.
It's not. It's about the look because he represents himself professional, intelligent,
And he's
clean.
nice.
Fucking sweatpants are
And he have a
professional.
great
Not Hugh
watch.
Bryan, obviously.
He have a great watch.
If we call vibes
And
and
you
personality,
very
we get-
casual.
Watches looks.
Yeah, but the way he carry himself.
Okay, that's fine. What
You
about
want us
you?
to go lower?
I think you guys are both 10s. Who am I to judge?
There we go. There we go.
Oh my god, my ears are gonna explode. Okay.
I mean, I'm going off of also how you
Act.
present yourself.
it's
which,
just looks.
Okay, but you don't have like confidence to say you're a 10, so I would give you 5 and 6 still. Like what you said. If you think you're that,
All right, we'll accept it. Go ahead.
You're both 10s.
No, come
Aw.
on, come on. Give us a rating. Come on.
That's the truth.
Cutie patooties.
Yeah.
Cutie pies.
I almost want to agree with Yami.
Okay.
It's all about your own perspective.
So I'm a little confused.
Who are they calling
If
it?
there was a guy that
Want to tell him? Should I tell him?
said that
Do
they
you wanna
weren't
tell
a
him?
10,
I'll tell him. I'll tell him.
but
Huh?
they were funny, they might have went up
I'm
a
just
scale.
curious, like, why can't average women just admit they're average?
I'm not.
Bruh.
Where?
You think I am?
I'm gonna be honest.
Wow.
No girl at this table.
Wow.
Is, I feel like I'm being a little generous. Not gonna lie.
You can have whatever opinion you want.
That's fine.
That doesn't stop me from looking in the mirror and telling myself how beautiful
You
I
can
am.
feel.
And so I'm still a 10. But
So you saying everybody 5s or something?
Continue.
That's what you finna say? Everybody 5s? That's
I
what
think
you're saying?
nobody's above a 5.
Just go one. Go one for one. Go ahead.
No one above
Nobody
a 5.
here's above a 5.
You don't want us to
Except
lie.
Jake.
himself a 5.
But
only
it's
your
your right
opinion.
to think so. It's okay.
Yes.
That's right. I'm an American.
Yeah.
America. It's my right to
It's
think
good to have
average-looking women are
America.
average. Oh
America
my God.
is the
I'm
best.
so shocked because I'm looking around and y'all are bad as fuck. Five to me is like ugly.
No, 5 is average.
Nah,
So
5 is like.
here's my scale. 10, absolutely stunning. 9,
I change my
gorgeous.
rate?
Hold on. 10, absolutely stunning. 9, gorgeous. 8, beautiful. 7, pretty. 6, above average. 5, average. 4, below average. 3, frumpy plain. 2, unattractive. 1, butt ugly.
Okay, I want to change my rating for you guys.
So you don't think nobody
You
here is
guys are still
pretty?
tens.
You don't think nobody here is pretty? That's what you're saying. Everybody here is nobody's pretty.
Hold on, just to be clear,
tripping.
average can still be attractive, but like I'm looking, like if we're doing comparisons, I don't think anybody at this table is above a 5.
Okay.
So why did you invite?
Why did you invite
us? Why didn't find the chance to invite?
Did you want a cookie?
I talked to all
Thank you
kinds
for
of
your
people.
freedom of speech.
I know. Did you want a cookie? Oh.
No, I talked to all kinds of people. Why did I? What do you mean? Why did I invite?
I think today very beautiful.
His vision
Sometimes
is
for
okay.
1 minute. Sometimes this
His vision
podcast
is
has,
okay. It doesn't matter what he
Yes,
says. Doesn't
we
matter.
feel good.
This podcast, what? Go ahead.
No, like today we have really beautiful women. Sometimes we don't have really beautiful women. But today
Why?
it is.
Today's the most beautiful.
Not like the most. I didn't watch all the series, but today is really good.
Trust us, today is the best.
The best.
Thank you.
Like,
See, that's why he's a 9.
Unbelievably gorgeous. I can't look around
I'm
the table
sitting-
and see one
know
single thing that any of you could possibly improve.
Nothing. You guys are all
That's
perfect.
why I haven't changed.
Oh, now you're being
anything.
sarcastic.
Hold on.
No.
Wait. I need to send the asteroid and the
right.
missiles and the nuke for
Please
this
do, 'cause
segment.
we are- whew.
Okay, there's the asteroid. Now, hold on. Also, Tate has to join in. Tate also feels a way about it.
Tate loves
and
me.
then,
Ask
hold on.
him.
We're gonna go. We're doing this, and then we have that. That was a
bomb.
nuke.
Damn, we
And
are
then
on
I'm-
fire, girl. You just sent some shit off. Oh my God.
Are you starting a
Damn.
third world
You
war
might have
with
to
us?
show because we
We're
are
also-
doing
that-
some shit right now.
Wow.
Explosions.
I'm also.
Stop it. Get some help.
Wow, that's crazy. Look,
It's a good thing attraction is more than
Can you
looks.
just
though.
like
It's
do
good
me a
that.
favor and be honest for like
what do you mean?
2 minutes?
You want me
when
to be
you
honest?
go around and you rate everybody at this table like I know you want to,
I don't
just do
want
me a
to.
favor and be honest about it.
I'm not gonna do it unless you guys want
Not
the
for
rating.
clout.
I wouldn't just do it.
The only
Wait,
way
one
that
sec. One sec. One
because
sec.
he's gonna do it
Metro
regardless.
donated
I'm not gonna do it.
$200. You're
He's
all
done it
right.
before.
You're
Sure,
all
I
a
have.
10 combined.
Oh shit.
I don't even know a 10. I know a 9.5, but that's only because she has red hair.
And he likes
W Metro
red
Man.
hair, so that's a preference. It's not.
Ooh, points.
I mean,
People have their type.
I mean, if all y'all had red hair, I don't know if you know.
She's
you
a
know what I mean?
9.5 'cause she has
like
red
even
hair.
if you guys had red hair, just, you know.
Points.
Okay.
About
Lucas.
preference.
Lucas says.
She made that.
Chair number 7, 50-50 husband financially handles, as he says, everything. Did you girls miss the part about impeccable virtue, honor, integrity, and competence? Chair 5, again, virtue. Fat chance getting his number, he's all mine.
It's from the wife.
Thank you.
It's from the
Lucas.
wife.
It's from Lucas's wife. W's in the chat for Lucas's wife. Congrats on snagging yourself a big law 6'4" lawyer.
Okay.
I laughed for you already. Brian, when you gonna bring me on as your co-chair?
Okay, so anyways, oh boy.
I'm ready.
Okay, here, let's switch gears here a little bit related to this. It's still related to looks, but a different question. Do you think you will be better looking in 10 years' time? So I'm not asking you if you'll still be attractive. I think women can be attractive 20s, 30s, 40s, etc. I'm not asking that. I'm just asking, compared to how you look now, will you be more attractive comparatively?
On numbers?
In 10 years' time. Just looks. So not personality, just your looks. You're 24. In 10 years' time, you'll be 34.
But on numbers.
Are you
Absolutely.
more attractive?
Yes, absolutely.
At 34? Okay, in
Yeah.
20 years' time, 44?
It's subjective though, like to who? Just in general, like who am I attracted to? Cause
It's like just physical appearance based on how the world would perceive you.
At 44, nah, probably not. 44, nah.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, because at 34, yeah, like I plan on being stupid rich in a couple years.
Okay.
You can buy a personal trainer and the things you need, vitamins, supplements, and all that to make you more attractive. So like in 10 years from now, for sure.
But 34, yes, but not for 20 years. 44 now.
That's pushing it though. But Beyonce,
I mean, if you get that top,
Beyonce look. Ooh, and then if you ask certain people, Beyonce is more attractive now than she was when she's in her 20s. Depends on what you like. You know what I'm saying? Cause,
Erroneous.
She bad now, so it's
it's like wine.
If
Black don't crack though. That's why I'm like,
black is like wine.
Right, a lot of
better as we age. I don't know.
If me and Jay-Z were in a room together and I was like,
well, Jay-Z's not attractive. What are we
talking about? How does that matter?
He looks like
I was like, yo, Jay-Z, if you could like rewind, like if Beyonce could go back when she was, I don't know, when 21 or whatever. He's picking 21-year-old Beyonce.
He wouldn't have done it because honestly, the whole basis of their relationship was for business.
But
no, his taste has changed though as he gotten older too. So
what about Becky with the good hair? What about her? So you're telling me that he cheated on Beyonce for Becky with the good hair for no reason?
Wouldn't this help our argument here? He cheated on his
exactly for somebody younger with longer hair.
Oh, so he prefers younger women, so he'd prefer younger Beyonce.
Yep.
Thank
you for solidifying exactly what Brian just said.
Thank you for being on my side.
But I'm also not saying that she looks any worse because she don't.
So women just don't age. And
no, I didn't say women don't age. I just know there's certain ones that look good.
All right. Good talk. Okay. What about you? You're 47, better looking in 10 years' time at 57?
57, yes. So I plan on continuing to take care of myself, work out, eat healthy, Botox, filler, whatever I need. So yeah, I will maintain in 10 years.
And do you, I guess we'll ask it.
Yeah, we'll let everybody go through. Let's do splits though for this segment. Wait, so what about 20 years time at 67?
67, ooh. Yeah.
Old.
I think I'm going to be at home with like a bunch of cats hiding out, like just.
So do you look better or not?
Like this. I don't know. 67, that's pretty damn old. Like I'm in my prime to like be at home, drink a cup of tea and watch. Like,
do you think that Playboy would be more interested in current you or you 20 years ago?
Repeat that again?
Do you think that Playboy would be more interested in hiring current you or you 20 years ago?
Oh,
who do you think would generate
probably
more?
Current me.
You think that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I was in mommy mode back then.
And then, so can I get a definitive answer on 67 though?
67, no, I'll be hella ugly.
Okay. And then you're 47 now. Let's go back in time.
Damn, hella ugly. It's crazy.
Here, guys, just let me get through it, please. You're 47 now. We go back 10 years. Better looking at 37?
37, was I better looking? No.
Versus now. Better looking now.
Better looking now.
At 47. Okay. Let's go back 20 years, 27. Better looking at 27.
I think a lot of it is happiness too.
We're talking about looks.
Your
So what do you think?
happiness into your looks.
Your happiness comes out in your looks too.
Does it?
Okay.
If you're always mad, now you look like the angry cat.
Wait, so
I do look better when I'm happy.
But just I'm happy with the explanations, but if you can, just give me an answer. 27 or 47?
27 or 47.
Better looking one.
I think I'm actually better now.
Now? Okay.
Yeah.
And then how about 18 versus now at 47?
Oh, 18.
18 better looking.
All right, so that's how we gotta do it. We gotta do it just really fucking slow.
What about the
I don't want to do it slow.
Happy?
I'm more happy now.
False.
All right. You're 37, better looking in 10 years' time, 47?
I guess yes, because beauty industry developing every day, so now girls can change boobs, bellies, everything. So in 10 years, I think we can change all the avatars for the new one, or you just show your photos.
No way!
So my position on this would be, even with surgical intervention, I don't think it would even then have an impact, but like let's just remove like surgical intervention from this conversation. Just kind of like you can still be taking good care of yourself, you're naturally aging, whatever. You're 37 now, 10 years time, no surgery, but anything else, I guess. better looking at 47?
I'm not better looking, but I can tell you, when I was young, I was very hot, but I was very unhappy. Now I am not so hot, but I'm very happy. So
I
the
thought
most
you said you
important
were
is
a 10.
happy. Yes, but what?
You said you're not very happy.
What?
You said before that you were a 10, right?
Yes.
You are a 10?
Maybe before it was 12.
Okay, but so you will say that you're a 12 out of 10 then. So what you just said that you're not
The
very hot
beauty,
now.
it's not only physical, it's together, it's
All right,
complete.
and if
I'm
what
in harmony
you said
with myself.
you would want to get cosmetic surgery.
What?
You would get cosmetic surgery.
Not yet, but maybe if I will have a children and maybe some of my
You're gonna
body
get the
looks not so good,
labiaplasty.
maybe I will do it. But as we see, then future you can replace any organ of your body and anything. So
Right,
who knows?
but you do think that you're a 10.
Yes, you know, my one of my ex school girl, she met me here in Miami. I didn't see her for years, but she told me I definitely looks much more better now than I was before. It's a different.
Okay. How about here? Let's 20 years time, 57.
Hard. No, of course I will not be like in the mind
Alright,
of the people. And
fuck
not be
this.
so young, and young is
I'm
my
done.
beauty. So yes, definitely I cannot change my age. But there I will have some other values to attract the people, to attract.
But we're just talking about looks.
But looks is depends from, you know, if you have a fucking sad face, who cares about your your beauty? What is the beauty?
Let me ask you a question. Can you think of like somebody who you think is really ugly?
Your mama.
Girls or boys? Girls?
Donald Trump.
Is there like Putin?